All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Comic Asylum Live. My name is Steve. I'm here with Vaughn and J-Man and two amazing special guests. We have Sebastian and Nate from Summit Comics. Welcome to the Asylum. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Thanks so much for having us.
Excellent. So you guys are, I guess, having exciting times being part of a new comic book startup, having two, I guess, Kickstarter campaigns for your titles underway. What's it feel like getting, your feet wet and then also starting a new universe?
It's let's go with overwhelming, which isn't always bad and is certainly good, but there's a lot, and it's exciting, and we build off each other, and then but we also, it's like moving into a brand new house. You don't know what's wrong with it yet until that first storm,
Right.
Yeah, and everyone else is sort of rooting for you to fail, and it really makes you want to try harder. So there's that.
That's understood. J-Man, you have anything to pop in on that?
For what, doing your own?
Any questions for them, just as a start?
Oh no! I'm sorry. I was just getting the stream set up for the. So I was like, So like, give me a second. I'm just getting their links and everything as well too. So
no worries.
For just a second.
Sounds good. Vaughn, anything you want to throw out there to them?
So how do you feel that you guys are doing with the Kickstarter so far? Because I know you guys just launched it. So how do you feel? Is it?
I mean, it's
meeting your expectations or your?
It's a lot better. We were both really expecting to just be begging for backers at like the at the back end, and then we were each like less than 2 days funded.
Right.
And it's just surreal. I mean, now we get to tell these stories, and now it's just all about spreading it out there and spreading like these stretch goals and sort of getting it out, getting people excited about these things that we're excited about. And so in Summit.
Okay.
We
were worried about a lot of things, and nothing really went wrong that we were worried about, and everything
which is even more worrying.
So it was fun.
Okay. I really thought I was going to be the first campaign to not make it, and then in some weird surreal twist, I currently hold the record for the fastest Summit Kickstarter to meet fulfillment. I met my $2,000 goal in 4 hours. And my trick to it was nothing. I got in the car. My wife and I were going to a concert in Tampa. I live on the East Coast of Florida. We drove 4 hours through traffic to get to Tampa. And when we got there, my phone blew up with people congratulating me. And I'm like, it can't be, it can't be met. I literally just launched. Like, I literally hit launch and then jumped in the car. So I did nothing. My phone was in my pocket. I drove the whole 4 hours, and I get there, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you hold the record." And I'm like, "No, I was prepared. Like, my campaign ends next week on my birthday because I really thought that the last 3 weeks were going to be me just begging everyone to donate at least $1, to pledge $1 for my birthday. That's all. And then I don't know. It's very strange.
That's a pretty good marketing plan, Pledge $1.
The birthday party, getting in the car.
Yeah.
Time it across your birthday. That's not a bad one.
You get to sign the digital birthday.
We got to try that next. Thank you.
So
Give me some ideas.
Says 7 days to go on that one. I don't think, Steve. I don't know if I can post the link.
I'll be able to post.
Can you do that? Because
I've already got them in the notes.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll post them, and then we'll take a deep dive into the campaigns in a little bit. Travis, love it. Who are these?
Travis is in there.
So Nate or Sebastian, who, for those of who are tuning in who aren't familiar with who Travis is, who would like to kind of give us a little bit of a backstory on that wonderful individual?
Travis is Travis.
He's the CEO and publisher of Summit Comics as well as Orange Cone, but he really shepherded all of this, and he is one of the he is a very big personality in indie comics, and that is putting it lightly.
Okay.
He's sheer willpower. He makes and sometimes he makes Stan Lee and P.T. Barnum seem humble and shy.
Goddamn.
I think did he say in that meeting that passed? He's like, Travis is never wrong. Past Travis is wrong.
Yes.
But future Travis is always right.
Current Travis is always right.
Mhm.
That's pretty good. That's
a
you know what?
good,
That's
good mantra.
I like it. That's almost like Doctor Doom levels of.
You have no idea.
Only Doom? Yeah, I get you. Only Doom.
So how did either of you get involved with Summit?
Well, I was sort of involved from day one. I saw a lot of people messaging on a group chat, just arguing about something. I said, "What's up?" And they said, some people said that you can't do an indie superhero universe that like this and this and this. And they had like the little basis of the idea. And I said, and I really wanted to prove this one guy wrong. And I was like, I love a good spite project. And then Summit was born. I mean, it really was that. It was just 2 or 3 people saying, let's put our toys together and then build a bunch of things on top of it. And a bunch of people saying, let's not work. And then we cut out those people and then built Summit around the others.
Mm-hmm.
I was drafted. I'm in the same Discord group that started this whole formation. But I have that thing muted because as Nate said, they argue even about things they agree on, like all day. So I have it muted because otherwise my phone is nothing but notifications from that thread, from that channel. But I've known Travis for 20 years. I've known Brian Wolf for 20 years, and we all live fairly close to each other. So I was at our local comic store. I was at Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida. And we were doing a signing for one of Travis's other books, one of his Cthulhu books that we were all in. And they came over to me and they're like, "Hey, we're doing this superhero thing. Have you seen it on the?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, I mute that because Discord gives me a headache anyway. They're like, "It's superheroes, and that's kind of your wheelhouse. And we think maybe you could do something of a different tone than most of what we're doing. You could do that lighter, goofy tone that makes you so happy." So I threatened to make a character called the Blue Iguana, and they said, "Make whatever." Travis is like, "Yeah, I'll get you in there. Don't worry about it." And then from there, it spawned into this cricket, and yeah, so everybody else came in with a vision, and I, in the way that I lived most of my life, just kind of stumbled in and was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" and made a bug.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's
The
cool.
important thing is that it stayed blue.
Yes.
Excellent. And so I'm just going to scroll down here because I'm not sure if because we did go over the Pinnacle one shot, but I'm not sure if your IPs here with the Cobalt Cricket and Wayfarer tag here, if they were in the Pinnacle one shot. Were they? Remind me if I'm mistaken.
Pinnacle, the way that worked was Cobalt Cricket was in it because he was always meant to be in it. Wayfarer was part of our Wave 2 line of characters, and it just so happened that I had my preview ready by the time that Pinnacle was launched. So we made it a stretch goal, so it just so happens that like my first 5 pages are in there as sort of just this not complete story, but here's the first 5 pages of gorgeous Staniak art, and then you also get like complete stories of everyone else.
Right. So I would say the Sebastian, your character is a street level character.
Yes.
Nate, yours is intergalactic. We're going to discuss the virtues of both. So Sebastian, why do you think, or do you, which is your favorite? Because like the cricket, Cobalt Cricket, even though you're writing a street level character, do you enjoy street level more than spacefaring, or are you more on the side of a scaled down story?
Um, one of the great things about Summit is that like look at those two ridiculous blue boys there. You know, the fact that we can have them, like, that's what was so great about us having our launches kind of overlap, and then we just kind of tied them together on the whole, hey, look, we're blue theme. But at the same time, in this new universe, you know, he's exploring, you know, the deepest regions of space and kind of fleshing out our literal universe. And I've got a guy jumping around the streets of a city in Florida. But there's an overlap because, you know, that's the beautiful part of the shared universe is the word shared. So there are, you know, it's alien DNA that gave him his cricket powers. There are aliens and things called echo beasts that he'll be fighting, as you know, throughout the cities. And even though you would think, you know, like the cosmos is this big, you know, everybody, when they talk about cosmic level heroes, they think of the giant scope of all of that. And he's based it on the Odyssey, so it's literally epic. Like that's where the word epic comes from. But the heart of his story is just a dad who's lost trying to get his way back to his family. So you've got, you know, it's even, you know, I guess humanity's not the right word because he's an alien, but that, for lack of a better word, that humanity of both, you know, is what makes them who they are, and ultimately what makes them worth reading. So I don't think one is better than the other. It's more the idea that we're already, as a company, trying to do that. Where some people are going to go, oh, I really like the cosmic stuff, and other people are like, oh, I like, you know, Spidey and Daredevil and that kind of street level thing. So we've already, just in those two, we've covered two different gamuts. And as long as Nate and I do our job telling the stories, and we do have wiggle room to mess up because we've got two fantastic artists drawing for us. So sometimes, you know, people can get caught up in how pretty it looks and overlook, you know, any, you know, missed beats we may make. I think as long as, you know, we're hitting that, you know, there's no specific, it's like going to a library and, like, you know, you never see people in the middle of your library fighting over, you know, fiction versus nonfiction, or, you know, no, I like poetry. Well, I prefer, you know, books on math, you know. So
you haven't been to a Canadian library. No.
Really
I'm like, what is
strong
this
on
guy
that.
talking about? I literally just fought with someone. No.
But I think there's something to be said that both of ours are lean really strongly into genre and are really love letters to respective genres within comics themselves. Like mine is very much running the gamut of sci-fi, while yours very much is Bronze Age superhero, like that classic feeling. We're both trying to bring sort of modern to something classic in very different approaches. And I think that there's something really special about that. The common language between that is comics and sort of the history of comics and the history of superhero comics and how grand and epic and sort of wide the possibilities are of the genre. And it's not genre, but just these archetypes that we built within our medium. And I think, well, I mean, obviously I like sci-fi more, but I think it's all about, both have great places and both are fun, but I like that it's just a challenge to come up with something crazier than everyone else who's ever written sci-fi, or come up with whatever the most insane thing I can do that day, or like something that pops into my mind, and like just this, and then ground in just the most emotional, character-driven humanity thing possible, and really try and bring something emotional and tethering to something so out of this world and epic.
Awesome. Yeah, that is cool. So we'll just run it through the panel, but we'll start with Sebastian and Nate first. What are your Mount Rushmores of sci-fi? Let's start with that. We'll start with Nate, since you just finished off with sci-fi. So if you had to pick 4 sci-fi on Mount Rushmore for that genre, what would they be for you?
Or franchises, I would say Star Trek, Doctor Who. Can Alien and Predator count as the same franchise, or is that going to have to be two?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Okay, so Alien, Predator, and then I think so many good ones. I would say I honestly think it might just be like the Guardians of the Galaxies movies at this point. They're just because at this point, like I rewatch those just to turn my brain off.
That's a good way of putting it. J-Man would like that assessment of your assessment of Guardians of the Galaxies for sure. Yeah. So Sebastian, what are yours in terms of sci-fi?
I'm an older nerd, so when you said my Mount Rushmore of sci-fi, I wasn't even thinking, the movies, because a lot of sci-fi movies have more or less become, action adventure movies with sci-fi elements. But if I was going to make a sci-fi Rushmore, and I don't even know how many faces are actually on Rushmore anymore. But I would go with some authors. I would probably go with Larry Niven, Heinlein, Philip K. Dick. What do I need? Two more?
No pressure.
Trying to think. Yeah, any of those like kind of 60s, 70s sci-fi novels that you find at like a used bookstore for 50 cents that have those paintings on the cover that those painted covers that make you go, the hell am I, like there's like a some weird elongated thing and a star in the distance and like a person riding on like what seems to be a cross between an elephant and an otter. Any of those, it's like, what the hell is this? Those are that's when I think sci-fi. I go straight to the old. I can already, once you said who would be on, I already could smell the books of some of the authors I was talking about. That old book smell.
Well, those are some good choices.
Wait,
J-Man.
Lovecraft count? Oh wait, Lovecraft count? Swap out Guardians for that.
No worries. Like this is a fluid conversation.
Yeah, it's tough to yeah.
Because
Is
it's
Star
tough.
Are we saying Star Wars is fantasy, or
What's
are we
that?
saying it's sci-fi? Right, like it's more fantasy, right?
Right. Yeah. Star Wars, I would say, is more fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not.
Star Trek can explain to you the fake process they're using to create light speed, and Star Wars pushes a button.
Right.
I made dilithium crystal.
Sure.
Yeah,
Why not? So J-Man, what do you have on your top four?
I could do authors or things I'll do. My favorite show is Doctor Who. So Doctor Who, which also is kind of fantasy, though. Really, I don't know. Like that's also,
It's also
fantasy.
horror a lot of the
It's
time. Like,
Yeah, but I
who's your
think
favorite Doctor?
My favorite Doctor is John Pertwee.
Ooh, good pick.
But the best Doctor is Tom Baker. So if anyone's saying it's not Baker, that's like fake. But my favorite personal is John Pertwee, just because he is super cool. And yeah, but I've seen every Doctor Who thing there is, including like K9 and Class and Torchwood, and even up to whatever the latest Doctor Who was, whatever the Ncuti got. I've seen every single thing, and I own every single Blu-ray and DVD of Doctor Who there is, and I've met almost all the doctors who are alive. And I have Tom Baker's autograph personalized to me when he was doing personalized autographs way back. But yeah, Doctor Who, I'd say for sure. Star Trek, 100%. How about Blake 7? That's one of my favorite shows.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a good one.
That one
nicely
doesn't
done.
Yeah, Avon is probably my favorite sci-fi character, even over Spock and Kirk, which seems outrageous to say out loud. But I love Avon, and so okay, for no Star Wars, I don't know, 2001, like
Yeah.
Space Odyssey. That's the best. That's in my opinion, my favorite movie is Conan the Barbarian, but the best movie ever made is 2001: A Space Odyssey. For authors, Philip K. Dick, 100%, Clark. I mean, Adams, like I don't know, name the ABC, what is ABCD or whatever. Like, just there you go. So it's it's Asimov. What is like I forgot that I forgot who they were, but whatever. Dick is there, like the ABCD.
Yeah.
There you go. That's everybody. Bradbury.
Yeah, Ray Bradbury, can't go wrong there.
Yeah. Who else? What was the other ones we got? Yeah. So whatever. There you go. That's the 4.
Hey, can't go wrong with that 4. What about you, Vaughn?
I'm just looking it up. So I think I'll start with Star Trek.
Okay.
Sci-fi. Yeah, Aliens, Predator.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Aliens,
yeah.
top 20 movies of all
I'll
time.
do Farscape.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Trying to think what other ones. So that's 3 right now, and I need one more, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you always think of your top 3 to yourself. You never think 4.
I guess Terminator.
Vaughn, Terminator. Yeah, that's
What about
Yeah.
Terminator?
That can work.
Terminator, yeah.
So do Terminator RoboCop, because then they can kind of that's the Dark Horse shared universe. They just started meshing all that. It's like Alien, Predator, RoboCop, Terminator. They're all in the same thing. You throw them all.
They're all
in.
just dogpiling one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw them in. Yeah.
And depending on what you read, you can actually throw the Matrix in there because
Sure. You can,
the machines are kind of what gives you Skynet or whatever down the road.
What
Mhm.
are you
Right.
saying, Steve?
For me, I'm a Star Trek guy. I still like Star Wars, even if it's fantasy. I love Alien. Like,
Yeah, Alien 1 is like a 10 out of 10 super masterpiece of movies,
absolutely.
like ever.
And I'm probably going to surprise a lot of people with this, but what's the one on Apple TV that we like?
I was trying to remember it. That's what I was trying to remember
Oh,
too.
Jesus, man!
Like Firefly or something. Like that.
What?
No, it's a. I can't
Like
believe
a new one?
It's an Asimov one.
It's an Asimov one, and it's I
Oh.
think it's on like season 4 or 5 right now. But I'm really enjoying it. Lee Pace is in it.
For All Mankind's not Asimov, right?
No, For All
No.
Mankind. Actually,
No.
I'm gonna say this. Season
Yeah.
1 of For All Mankind is
Perfect.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. Why can't I remember?
Oh,
the
it's
name?
Foundation.
Foundation.
Yeah,
That's it.
really like
Yes,
Foundation.
come on. There's like so many Foundation books. I have at least 3 or 4 of them right there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Foundation is
Foundation. It's too late, number 9. You're late.
My problem is I read so
I
many
do
series
just-
with comics that as soon as I see a novel's a series, I just check out.
Yeah.
I can only read so
Great
much.
show.
Yeah, and I'm at the point now where like my brain only has so much capacity for certain things, and it just gets squished out. some
You
other
lose something, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
if you learn something, it was like Kelly Bundy on the Married with Children episode where
stuff.
she could only learn a certain, and she forgot that her father scored 4 touchdowns in one game. Remember that?
Yeah, Polkai. So I can remember Polkai or whatever it is, but I can't remember Foundation. That's
Right.
hilarious.
Sooner or later you won't be able to eat. You're like, wait, how do I eat? Oh, damn it! I shouldn't have watched that new show.
That's right.
Did somebody
Classic.
say Babylon 5? Yeah, B5.
Oh, I haven't seen
Yeah.
that. I
That one
own
was
it.
really
I never watched it.
Right? So there's Star Wars, Star Trek, Babylon 5, and Farscape. I would throw out there that they're going to be people that are going to say Battlestar, like the second iteration of Battlestar.
But all of it is
Is
I like the
amazing.
original too.
And I grew up on the original. Absolutely.
The original one is still better, but the new one was very good.
Hmm.
I
X-Files,
hear you guys
yeah.
saying Farscape, and I'm gonna go. That's cool, but I'm throwing in Red Dwarf instead.
Yeah, hell yeah, throw that in
Yeah.
there. I got on the queue. I haven't seen that in 400 years. I remember thinking, yeah, it was okay. But now when you go back to some of these, because there's a lot of duds out right now, you go back to these, oh, this is damn good. Like, it's like,
And they did 22 episodes a season too.
That's the other thing too. That's in the era where you got
That's the
22 to
real-
24.
yeah.
The only hard part with Red
Star
Dwarf
Treks
was
or whatever, like-
when they got
Oh
to
my
the point
God.
where they stopped using the laugh track, and suddenly every joke they tell, I'm like, I don't know, is it funny? No, the rest, nobody else laughed.
It's
Am I an
awful.
idiot laughing on my couch over here?
21 seasons, like 24 episodes Star Trek.
Yeah, like Next Gen, DS9, for all of those, yeah.
Like during those like years. That will never happen again, unfortunately.
No.
No.
It's interesting.
And they're almost all
Yeah.
good.
Well, okay, so
Like-
David, that's a great point, but I think it's the Pit. Who's the star in the Pit? What's his name?
No,
Young guy. Used to be on ER.
Wow.
Used
Yeah,
to be on
Noah
ER.
Wild. I think it's Noah Wild.
No,
Wiley-
yeah, no
Noah
Wiley.
Wiley was saying, "Hey, what's up, Phil?"
Phil, what's going on, dude?
What's up? How you doing?
Number 9, classic. How's it going? Jo.
What's up
Some-
to everybody
some
that's in the,
of my
in the
friends,
chat? And Jo, before I give my point, I want to have Jo.'s thing come up. I just watched Predator 1 and 2, and then Predator.
Yeah, so you've seen all the Predator movies.
and he
Oh,
loves
hell
them.
yeah.
Those are all of those are the only ones there are. So you've seen them all.
Absolutely.
Well, Prey was great.
Absolutely. DK, Calvan, hey guys, what's up? So the thing that Noah Wiley was talking about is that he was advocating going back, or at least someone in the production of The Pit was advocating going back to a 22 season episode season.
Structure?
And when you think about it, because Nate, you brought up a good point about Star Trek being 22 to 24, and J-Man, I'm going to hop on what you're saying. They were all bangers in some of those seasons, right?
I love
That is,
every
like,
episode of
you
Next
remember
Gen.
those, and like even a bad episode of Star Trek, that's one in 24, a couple in 24 instead of 2 or 3 in 8.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, then
buddy,
you can-
100%,
exactly.
man.
By far.
You
100%.
feel it. Like the stinker Star Trek episodes are no different than the stinker ones now. It's just that they were
Yeah.
a big, smaller percentage of the total.
Definitely.
And depending on the series, I don't think there's that many. Out of the 735
Yeah.
original Star Treks before the relaunch and with
Now
Abrams.
you guys have me wondering what was that sci-fi show that Noah Wiley was on? The one that was kind of like sort of V-esque. They were fighting against aliens that had already invaded Earth, and they were little holdouts. Oh,
Oh, I do remember that one actually.
Yeah.
It-
I think one for like 1 or 2 seasons. I think it was,
it wasn't always as good as it could have been, but they tried really hard, and I gave them credit for that. But I can't remember what the hell it was.
Hold on, I'm going to check it up right now.
You gotta Google it.
Falling Skies, is that it?
Yes.
Oh yes. Okay, I didn't
I
watch
think I
that.
watched some of the first season. I didn't
It's called
finish it.
Falling Skies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's tough to get into shows now because I feel like a lot of shows take their time to establish themselves, and I can't get into this. Oh, it'll get good. Like somebody tells me, yeah, it'll get good. Well, Raiders of the Lost Ark was 10 out of 10 immediately. Star Wars 1 was 10 out of 10. I didn't, but if you take the number of hours that it takes for it to get good, you've done the Star Wars trilogy, right? Like it's an hour an episode, and episode 6, then it's getting really good. Yeah, but that's 6 hours. That's 2.5 Star Wars movies that were 10 out of 10 masterpieces. What do you guys? Next Generation, I love all of it. I've seen all of those Star Trek shows. I've seen them 5 or 6 times, like easy each one. I've seen DS9 like 8 times over. It didn't get good. It was like awesome immediately. Maybe it got better, but it was already awesome.
It sort of found itself, and
yeah.
And I think what you're saying is like even back then, like even now when you find something that's great, like I loved Pluribus. I thought it was genius. And
yeah.
at the
I
same
gotta
time,
watch
it's
that.
like-
I like that girl, right?
At the same
David,
time,
I'm
like
not
I
sure
love
you
that
like-
show. It was brilliant sci-fi, but at the same time, now we got to wait 2 years for
2 years.
more. And at the same time, this exact same team made Breaking Bad, which was in the old format.
And Saul as well.
Like
too.
I'm not
And-
complaining or anything. Like I get how it works, but at the same time, like it's not, the old model is not going to be sustainable anymore if we move back to it. It sort of like moved away,
Mhm.
and like there's only like so few people in the game who want to go back to the typical model. I think there's only like NBC who really is fighting for it, and besides that, it really is just a couple people behind the scenes, and like at the bottom level, and at the top, everyone just really likes to put their money behind the big things and then just let the small things fail.
Can I ask a question to the whole panel? Do you feel that this dropping the whole thing is bad? Because if you think back to Next Gen, you're watching a week, then you're talking to your friends about it, right? Then a week passes, then the next one, there's anticipation for the next one. It's standalone. You talk to your friends about that one and that one. And because it's elongated, they're making the next season, the gaps between isn't as much, and it stays with you longer because you have a chance to rewatch it. You can talk to your friends. Like now it's like I watch like an entire thing drops, and then I got to talk to these guys. Oh, what did you think of season 5 of The Boys? What do you mean season 5? Like, shouldn't we be discussing episode to episode or whatever? Like versus like the whole thing. No, I don't think Boys didn't drop like that. So that's a
No. It dropped. It dropped weekly, and
Weekly,
there was
but you
discussion
understand
week
what
to
I'm
week.
saying.
Yeah, like the Netflix model
Which is the
versus
point.
a serial.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, the week
Yeah,
First
time.
off, it's bold
get
of
the
you to
discussion
assume I
next
have
week.
friends to talk to.
The
We'll
internet-
talk to
you see it on the internet more. You get the free publicity of just the algorithms for
Right.
8 weeks versus 1 week.
Yeah.
I do feel some of I find the premium channels have opted to go for the week to week, and they're flourishing because of that, because it does give a better sense of, it gives time for press and other people to disseminate the content, right? Like that's where the Pit has really done really well, and that's where like HBO as a whole has kind of always been considered premium TV, and they've never switched their model. It's a week to week basis, and when it comes to each finale, they just crush it, right? You think the Pit, I think, had like 13 million plus viewers within the very first couple days of their season finale, which is nuts for a premium like subscription based television show, right?
Wait, what's that on HBO?
It's on HBO.
Do we have that in Canada? We don't have.
Yeah,
HBO.
we have
Yeah,
it.
it's Crave.
It's
Oh,
Crave.
it's Crave. Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
But you have that, and
Yeah, I
then
think
you
there are
have
some
things-
places it doesn't reach though.
Yeah, but then you have like Apple TV. They do the week to week model as well too, and they're thriving from that. Also, I feel like there's something to be said about now that you go week to week, it gives a little bit more time buffer, whether it's behind the scenes stuff that people could do stuff to kind of, you don't have to say you have to get all the episodes ready day one for June the 1st when it premieres out, right? Versus if you do like Netflix, you got to drop them all. It becomes problematic, I think. You can burn through with the very first like day, and then you're done for another 2 years, right?
I'm gonna go with
I
the
just think it's
pragmatic
funny going
angle.
back around
One,
cable.
I'm old, so if you drop all of them at once, I'm gonna want to watch them all at once. But I'm gonna be falling asleep somewhere in episode 4. Because I'm old. I work. I'm supposed to be writing. I don't got time to sit there and watch 6 to 10 episodes in a day and a half. I can't be doing that.
I get you.
And the other thing is with the weekly model, like it gives me that time to kind of think about what I watched.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier. Like if I start watching a show and around the 3rd episode, I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. If I've been watching them one a week, I don't feel as bad walking away. Whereas if I'm on episode 3 and there's 6 episodes, I'm halfway through and I just wasted half a damn day. I'm like, no, you know what? I'm gonna find out how this ends. I didn't. If I quit now, I wasted half a day. But if I watch them all, it was for something. I was a part of something bigger than me.
I wonder if they take that into account. That's an awesome point, man.
Yeah.
Because I have that way too. Like I'll watch a couple. This show sucks. Oh, it'll get better
Right.
in episode 8. I don't care. Like I'm
Right.
not watching till that point. Like it's over now. I gave you 1 hour of my life. I can't get it back. Surely in 1 hour, the first hour of Star Wars 77 has a ton of shit and a lot of cool stuff going on. Right, guys are blasting, Vader's beating the crap out of people, Jawas are blowing shit up. Like it's like a lot of cool shit happens in the first hour, and the movie's only 2 hours. So yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, if you sat there for 5 hours, like, well, I may as well sit here for 2 more and just finish the thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I bet Netflix has some stats on that.
Yeah, guaranteed. Right?
You'll
We
never
got
see
him
them.
in there. Yeah, we got him in there. You can't have more than 10 choices. Your brain can't handle more than. That's why they only have those top row. Because like after a while, you just sit there. You're like, what am I going to watch? And you're just pressing this, and your thumb gets hurt. You're like, what am I doing? And then you end up watching nothing. You spend half an hour searching for something to watch, and you end up watching nothing. Or
You know what I
or I
love
throw in,
so much?
just Army of Darkness for the
just a
100th time.
shuffle button on one of those streaming services can be like cable again.
Yeah.
Just like something so I don't have to choose actively what I want every single day.
I actively think that Netflix they're the only people doing it now. If you notice, all the other streaming models are not anymore. I think Disney Plus started and debuted with all of them dropping at once, and then they shifted to a weekly format after that, right? But I think Netflix has such a library and such a head start on some of this stuff, they could still afford to make that their model.
I'm gonna throw this out there because it didn't occur to me until just sitting here listening to you guys chat. Do you think maybe the advantage to not dropping them all at once is that you can't get momentum killed right away as well too? So even if it's bad, there's the time for you to kind of recover, right? The pilot may not be a banger, but momentum can grow because we've seen that happen with a lot of shows in the past, right? Where sometimes the whole season goes by. You get 22 episodes and it only catches itself in reruns. But the way that we're kind of like we're clickbaity right now, our attention spans are really short. If you drop and it gets a bad review, who wants to waste 6 hours to confirm that it was actually bad?
Good point.
Right.
So even if you don't find
Also,
your
it's
footing in
having
the
an
first-
hour a week versus having 8 hours once a week.
exactly right.
And
Once you forget, I forget by the time the stream's over. Good thing your guys' names are on this thing. I'm not going to know anyone's. I'm not going to remember my name by the time the stream. I'll watch that entire season. I was like, wait, what happened again? It just feels like you just consumed the entire thing so quickly. It didn't have time to breathe in my head. Like,
Yeah, that is
Right.
a point too. Yeah, that's a good point.
plus spoilers. Like if it drops weekly, somebody might be able to spoil an episode because maybe I was too slow or whatever. But if you drop it all at once, I'm sitting down. I finally got home from work. I'm turning on. I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch this. And I make the mistake of looking at my phone, and somebody just told me who died in the last episode, and I'm like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
prioritize the boys finale last night to an insane degree. Like that should not be how things work.
Yeah, I watched it. Right, I watched it. Well, I mean, I'm going to spoil it for everybody just to piss everybody. I love spoiling stuff. By the way, I love because people get so angry. It's great. Because I don't care if things get spoiled to me. I think Sebastian. I don't know how old we are. I'm 48, and when I was younger, people would come back from the theater and spoil the whole movie, and then they'd be like, "Yo, did you see?" My mom came back from Die Hard 1. And she said, "You're gonna love this movie," and then she told me the entire movie, and then she came back from Die Hard 2 and told me the entire movie again. Like, she just keeps, and I was like, "I gotta see this. This sounds awesome!" Right?
It's pretty
It's like,
cool, mom, to go see
You can
Die Hard 1 and 2.
she's young. She was only 20 years older than me, so she saw Mad Max, all these in the theater. Come back, like, "You gotta watch Road Warrior. You're gonna love this movie." I was like, "It's like I'm like a kid." I'm like, "Yeah, this is gonna be awesome."
I remember being 8 years old,
It
and
wasn't a good story. It was a good twist.
Yeah,
I remember being 8 years old and watching two of the brothers that lived in the house across the street from me. One of them had gone with his friends to see Empire Strikes Back, and the other one hadn't. He was going the next day with the fit, and Joey comes back and tells Bill, "Oh, Darth Vader's his father."
yeah.
And there was no internet. We weren't prepared. Spoilers weren't a thing we thought we had to deal with. I remember being 8 and going, he said it in front of me, and I don't think I had seen it yet, but I just didn't believe him and didn't think anything about it. And then
Mhm.
I didn't even remember until like a week later when my dad took me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, Joey said that."
Damn kids.
Yeah.
My first big spoiler. You
It
never
happens.
forget your first.
Well, I'll do fake spoilers though. Like, what was that iRobot where there's that giant robot? And I came back, I was like, "Oh man, that giant robot comes to life and crushes people, everything." And then they're like, "That didn't happen." I'm like, "I know. I'm just telling you the better version of what should have happened." But anyway.
The unseen kaiju that was an iRobot for sure. All right, so let's flip to superheroes.
They're trash. No,
So
They're
Sebastian-
dying, I hear.
Yeah, perpetually. Sebastian, who's on your Mount Rushmore for superheroes?
oh my god.
Oh, I'm a bad person to start with. Like I could give one with the answers I'm supposed to, but in case you can't tell from the fact that I'm the guy who writes the Cobalt Cricket, I like C and D list characters.
Bring them on.
You
Bring
know,
them on.
Do it.
if you want, my Mount Rushmore looks a lot like if I was going with a true Mount Rushmore of my favorites, I'd
That's
be
what we want.
like,
We
all
want
right, we got the Ted Cord Blue Beetle,
Yes.
we got Matter Eater Lad.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh, you and J-Man.
Oh my god! I on my YouTube channel, I read 300 Legion of Superhero comics in reading order from Adventure
Oh my
247.
God, yes.
300 of them. Every single issue. We shared the issue and
I
read it
love
together
that.
live, dude. Anyways, yes.
What's your favorite Legion run?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I mean, when Jim Shooter came in, okay, before that, it was very like shenanigan-y. Like, it's like, oh, look, we misunderstood this thing, or someone's acting weird or whatever. At least when Jim Shooter, at however old he was, child labor, came in.
He's like 14.
He's like 14 or whatever,
Yeah.
writing better comics at 14 than a lot of them now. Yeah, he was good. I don't know, like all that was good. Great Darkness, like the Darkness Saga was awesome. So we read all that. It's hard because we read all
My
of it. So I
favorite's
kind of
probably
like all of
Giffen,
it.
honestly.
Yeah, Giffen is awesome, and I've got so many of them, like of the comics, because as I was reading them, I started to go buy them at conventions. So yeah, Matter Eater Lad is a good one. Sorry, but
Right.
I actually like Blue Beetle, the previous one, because the radio shows got me into Blue Beetle, like Dan Garrett or whatever. Yeah, Dan Garrett.
People don't believe me when I go, there was a time when one of the Blue Beetles was more popular than Superman. So DC had to kind of stamp down and say, oh, he's a little too close. And that's what they like doing that, just ask the original Captain Marvel. But so I go, yeah, so Dead Cord, Matter Eater Lad, Speedball.
Wow, New Warriors. Well done.
Right?
Yeah, no one's picking that.
That's
You're
'cause
the only one
everybody's
for that
wrong.
one.
He's a Steve, the last true Steve
Let's go.
Ditko superhero creation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Chef's kiss.
all right. You've made a good point.
I'm gonna go with trying to throw some more Marvel in, and I keep getting there, like Brother Power the Geek. The man had 2 issues, and I love him. And then let's see if I'm going over, trying to think of somebody. I think my last one would end up being Connor Kent Superboy, because as a kid, but not for the reason, like when they introduced sidekicks with the idea that, well, most of our readers are kids, we want somebody they can identify with. I didn't identify with the kid aspect, but I never had the self-esteem to think I could be. I never had what is now called main character energy, or at the very least, I didn't have main character confidence. I never dreamed of, if I could be a member of the Justice League or a member of the Avengers. No, I was content to think I could be a Teen Titan. I could be, one of the 48. I wouldn't have even made the cut for Legion, but I could have been a substitute hero.
Polar Boy's I've got I'm drinking out of the Polar Boy substitute glass. Just
Beautiful.
randomly pulled that one out. Cheers.
It's good to know I have a soulmate in Canada.
Yes, come to Canada, eh? Like we like a lot of stuff here.
You're like me, but metric.
Yes. Oh, Matrix is.
So that's a pretty decent top 4. What
Wow,
about
that's
you, Nate?
crazy.
I mean, it's Spider-Man and Superman that got me into comics, but Spider-Man because I knew him from the cartoons, and Superman because my family thinks they're funny. My name's Sebastian. That starts with an S. I am seriously colorblind. The only 3 colors I can see really well are the primaries, red, yellow, and blue. And one day my family noticed, hey, Superman is a red and yellow S on a blue background. That's your initial in all 3 colors you can see. And suddenly people started giving me Superman shit. Then the same people who gave it to me started making fun of me and going, wow, you're really into Superman. You guys gave me this.
I'll help you out. Give it all to me, and then that'll alleviate that problem. Send it to Canada.
So that was my gateway. It was red and blue superheroes. Got me in.
That's pretty cool. And Nate, what about your 4?
Mine are going to be a lot more boring. I mean, I can name a lot more like obscure characters that I love, but for me, it will always be like you have to pick the Trinity as 3 of your 4 for me, at least, because I mean, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman have had more impact on me growing up and like throughout my life than most real people in my life. Like they are more than heroes or more than archetypes. They really are just embody superheroes in this genre and this medium in such an incredible way. And I love those three characters so dearly, especially Superman, those three. And I would say for a fourth, I could say Mr. Miracle, who was like my favorite since I was like 5 and saw him on like the Justice League animated show. And I loved him. And then I read the Jack Kirby comics, then I read the Tom King run, and then I was just like, I just kept getting great comics with him after I already loved him. But I'm also just going to say Captain America because I love what he represents at his best when juxtaposed with a world that's like always at its worst. And I love that he's sort of the Superman equivalent of Marvel, but is more and more. I love how a bright light just gets so much more wholesome and so much more appealing to you in sort of like a darker world. And like Superman and Captain America just really show that more than anyone else to me. And I think that like, even though it's like Captain America, like to me, he couldn't be further than like embodying like what America stands for. Like today, he embodies for like what we are at our best. That like Superman embodies what humanity is at its best, even though he's not necessarily human.
Yeah, those are good points. And I think that's why they continue to resonate, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
J-Man.
Yeah, Shazam's one of my Shazam was the other one.
There's something about Shazam, and I don't know if it's just the color, the cape. There's something design-wise about Shazam that
it's the squint.
It's the Elvis thing. It's the Elvis appeal.
Yeah, squint and the Richard Nixon hair, I think.
I've got the comic
Captain
where
Marvel. I
Superman's
was reading Shazam. It's Captain Marvel.
It's Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just people get confused, unfortunately.
Captain Marvel also has the best movie serial.
Yes.
Spy Smasher is pretty awesome too. Those are the two best movie serials, better than the Superman ones. Mine is exactly the same as
also the Captain Marvel TV show, the old one.
Yes, I love it. Look, it's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and then I'll say Spider-Man just to throw a Marvel guy in there. But I could give you every hero. Like, I mean, for me, it's like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Robin. I like Captain Marvel, Human Torch, Cyclops, Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk. Who else do I have? I'm looking at my tattoos as well. Iron Man. They're like, I mean, it's all the generic people, but they're not like, Steve, it's like those three, the Trinity. I mean, if the Trinity is not there, like that's crazy because like that is what superheroes, like I love the Phantom and Mandrake. I'm currently reading all those Mandrake news strips. So I love all those guys too. I love all these superheroes. I pretty much like almost everybody as long as, but for sure the classic Superman's my favorite character of anything, not just of comic books. Batman, I love Wonder Woman, like a lot more than just generic people say, "Oh, I like Wonder Woman." It's like I even liked Wonder Woman 1984, so I can go away if you want me to. But I love, and Linda Carter is Wonder Woman, so I love all that. I still
remember
stuff.
the argument was Soul or Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas Day. I won the argument, but I lost the war.
No, so what was the other one on between what? Wonder Woman and what? What was the other one that came out?
He said Soul. I think it's a Pixar movie, right?
Oh, Soul. Oh yeah, that wasn't. Oh yeah, I think that was pretty good if I remember. I saw it. I think that was okay. Yeah,
it was like the Pixar thing.
Yeah, the Pixar one. Yeah. No, but I love Wonder Woman. And as a kid, I had a lot of Wonder Woman stuff, and I have a lot of Wonder Woman comics, and Superman and Batman. Those are the three of the most of the comics that I have, and I have tons of Superboy comics as well. What I call like Clark Kent Superboy, not Connor. Connor's okay, but like I like Clark as Superboy.
I'm in a Connor Kent comic book.
Nice.
They drew me into one because.
Oh my God! What really? That's awesome.
My friend Carl Moline. He used to draw the Buffy book. He co-created what's the name? Frey with the weird axe and whatnot. He drew the Superboy Convergence miniseries, and he called me up and he's like, he's like, it's the Superboy you like. He goes, I need you to send. Well, first he doesn't tell me that. He just says, I need you to send me a picture of you posing like this. And he drew a picture that already looked like me doing like, pointing up and standing there like this. And so I'm in there for a panel, and Fabian Nicieza wrote it, and he put. So I always get to say Fabian Nicieza put words in my mouth. I exist in the DC universe, and I got to say the iconic "Look up in the sky."
What?
That's amazing.
awesome.
So yeah,
that's pretty dope.
Carl unfortunately passed away a little over a year ago, and that's why in the Cobalt Cricket, the city that I made up, because I'm lazy, I don't like to research and get things wrong and have someone tell me how wrong I am. So I made up a city, and it's called Carl's Bay, Florida, and it's a fictional city in the fictional Moline County, and it's named after the man who he was one of my best friends, and he made me a DC character, so he put me in Superboy.
You happen to pick the one Superboy comic that I don't have on this computer at a moment's like it's like below my feet I have like hundreds of everything, and on this computer I have probably like gigs of Superman things ready to go at a moment's notice. Of course I don't have that one. I've got a massive Superboy folder.
Now you have the motivation to go get it. So you can be like, I know this guy. I saw him.
No. I have it, but not on the computer. I have drives, so
Right.
I don't have that. That's awesome.
Cool. Vaughn, who's in your top 4?
X-Men people.
Yeah, it's.
I'm gonna cheat.
X-Men Red.
I'm gonna do. I'll just cheat and I'll just do X-Men as a whole.
Sure, why
What?
not?
what the hell is that? That's
Whatever.
crazy.
And then
But
I'll do.
it is. He's all X-Men.
Then I'll do.
all X-Men. Okay.
Then I'll do Spawn,
Oh wow! Awesome.
Invincible,
Yep.
and then Batman. Batman's actually up there quite high. Batman probably is number 1, then X-Men, then Invincible, and then I have a couple other characters I like. But that would be my top ones right now.
Very cool.
There's Nate.
I was going to do an
Nate was
X-Men
so
one. My
upset.
entire Mount Rushmore would just be multiple men in different costumes.
Oh my god! Yeah. So you see, Vaughn. Nate was so upset that you put all of X-Men into one
Yeah.
that he couldn't.
He
stand
just
the
left.
cheating. He had to
He's like,
leave.
no, that's not how you play.
That's not how I'm leaving the stream. No.
Because I'm
I
out
cheat all the time.
for sure.
Oh, I cheat too. One of my favorite movies is Godzilla. Which one? The whole thing.
Yes.
Like all of it. All
Fair.
34 or whatever are one slot in my top favorite.
Sounds good. For me, this one that might actually surprise some people. Top 2 are Spider-Man and Hulk.
Oh,
Then
shocking.
Then Nightwing, because I
Oh.
love Teen Titans, especially
Yeah.
the Marv Wolfman Perez run,
Yeah.
and Vindicator / Guardian from Alpha Flight.
That's the Canadian. You have to have that in your top.
That's my maple syrup Canadian content.
I love maple syrup.
That's the CanCon. That was you got Canadian can.
There's the 10% Canadian CanCon or whatever for the stream. Guys, we did the stream, we got our 10% in, so we're good.
Yeah, for sure.
Beauty.
And I'm gonna go through some of the chat because there's some amazing
Everyone's
faves
going
in the
crazy.
chat. So Al says Iceman, Colossus Rogue, Gambit, Nightcrawler.
Yeah, those are all good.
Those are all good. He also says Hulk, Daredevil,
Yeah.
Cyclops, Super Patriot. and
Cyclops
Sprint.
is a big one.
Patriot.
Mhm.
Tom Strong.
Nice.
Ooh.
Phantom,
You're a fan.
Hellboy, and Cap. He's at
Phantom,
20.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phantom's great. Digsby says Superman, Batman, Star Lord.
Wow, the
And-
real Star Lord or the MCU Star Lord?
Which Star Lord is that?
The
And
old-
anyone who has got Phil Collins from the Genesis
Either way,
video,
Wayfarer's for you.
yeah. Respect you on the Avatar as well too.
Mhm.
Hulk, Daredevil, She-Hulk, Batman, and Spider-Man. That's Jo.
Yeah.
Al says, so Al was doing a whole list. So
Oh my goodness.
Invincible,
Yeah.
Batman, Superman, Mr. Majestic.
What kind of
Flash.
Hydra is on this Mount Rushmore?
He's got a mountain range.
Crazy.
Yes. Spidey, Wolverine, Steel, Omni-Man, Nightwing, Captain Britain, Hal, Jordan GL, Iron Man, and the Ghost.
Oh, Nerd Man, whose hot take. Oh, well, you can get. I don't know where you're on the chat, but
I'm starting from the bottom.
He-Man, yeah.
He-Man, Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman for VSC 741.
Yeah. He comes to all my He-Man streams.
Yep. Hot Takes Tuesday for Masterpieces, Spider-Man 2. Oh, so we're going.
Oh,
back to
he gave his list. He agrees with the Trinity. I know
Yes.
Nerd Man. This is Nerd Man, so
yeah,
I
so
know
Spider-Man
that's
2,
the Trinity.
Watchmen, Dark Knight, Shazam / Captain Marvel, Superman 1, First Class, Kick-Ass, Dread. MCU is not responsible for one
So
masterpiece.
no, this is him talking about superhero movies that
Yeah,
are very
he's
good.
talking about superhero
Oh, yeah.
movies.
Movies that are good. Yeah, his top guys are Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Shazam, Flash, Gambit, Hulk, Rogue, Daredevil, Spawn. Those are his guys.
Those are all good ones as well too. We didn't get to this one, but Phil did. All right.
Yes, I saw that, Phil.
Yeah,
I
Phil
saw
and
it.
Blake. Just
The
unfortunate.
only character to appear in every episode of Blake 7.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
For sure. Let me see if there's anyone there that I missed.
Batman, Lobo, Spider-Man. Did we get that? Gambit, Superman, Wonder Woman, Lobo. Okay, awesome.
Oh hell yeah, Lobo.
Yeah. I never got it seems odd that I never got into Lobo. I have no idea why. Even the new series I just read, I thought, yeah, it's okay. And I didn't get issue 2.
I picked up
don't
issue
know.
so much
1 and
fun.
2.
Lobo's the
Mhm.
best.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. It's weird. Batman, Lobo. Yeah, so yeah, we see that.
And then Element Lad, Merry
Yeah.
Man, Gold, Middleman, and Donovan Flint.
I think Dawnstar is like one of my favorite Legionnaire.
Mhm. The Hymn.
The Hymn? What's
Yeah.
I don't know what that's from.
I don't know what the hymn is. And Al also says Pirate Era Iron Fist.
Well, Iron Fist volume or whatever, Marvel Premiere is like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece.
Yeah. So the Daniel Rand one is good. And then there's one where there's a version of him that has 2 guns. And it was when they were going through all of the Iron Fists throughout time.
Oh, it's like a Phantom thing. It's like, yeah,
Kind
like
of like that. They
Legacy
totally
or
did it.
whatever.
Yeah, David
The
Aha.
37th Iron Fist.
But
Why
they
does
had-
Iron Fist need a gun?
because it was
Oh,
around
because
the time,
it's fake comics.
it was
Got
around
it.
the time
It's called a trash take.
That was the iron at the time.
that was the Iron for sure.
Well, then he should have had what's the RZA movie? Man with the Iron Fist. He should have had he should have had the RZA weapons or whatever.
Yeah,
that
for
would have
sure.
been cool.
For sure. But you know what? Let's get into the books that you guys are doing right now.
Yeah.
And
We're doing books.
thank you for the super chat. Good stream, lads, but this stream would have been even better if Sean arrived in a clap of thunder and laid down some absolute truth. So that would have
Sean
been
doesn't know what he's talking about. Firstly, this is Steve and Vaughn's stream. This is not my stream. So I know people are asking me, "Oh, can I come on?" No, you can't come on. We don't want you on here.
You defeat all of them.
These two guys are actually
But what
doing
about
comics.
Q versus Mr. Mixie's Pidalick?
Yeah,
Ooh, okay. That's not bad.
Q defeats them. Oh, Q, yeah, Q. I guess Q could defeat
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you, RR. I very much appreciate that. And
Yeah,
Sean, we invited Sean, but he literally said, "I don't want to come on because I have such trash takes and my opinion is awful, and I just embarrass myself every time." I said, "You know what, buddy? No problem. Don't even bother. We have guys who actually create comics, who know what they're doing, that love the medium, want to further the medium, not just complain about stuff. They actually did something, changed something, did something that they're passionate about, and they want to share it with you. They don't want you on here." So I was
And
like,
I've got my own
Who are these
trash
guys?
takes. Thank you.
Boys is a
RR
rip-off.
says that The Boys is a ripoff of Pat Mills's far superior
Oh,
martial,
martial
law.
law is awesome. Yeah,
I never read.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Ooh.
I didn't read The Boys actually. I watched all of the show, but I never read the comic. I don't know. I read the first
tried
issue of The
to.
Boys, and it was kind of gross. And I thought, this is kind of gross.
Yeah, like the series
like
as
the
a
worst
whole,
parts
as a
of Garth
comic,
Ennis.
it's a hard
Yeah,
read.
because Garth Ennis is good.
No,
He's
like
weird.
Hitman and Preacher are like genius, and then you
Preacher's
think about the
cool.
same person writing, like because I hold like Hitman and Preacher above like basic. Give me any other comic, and I'll like hit it, and I'll put Hitman or Preacher above it, but I'm not so sure. I don't think it's the same guy. I think he's just doing some crazy drugs and then going.
Yeah, I don't.
Going off on the
Yeah,
industry.
I agree with you. Like Preacher is awesome, and then I don't know. Like I read the first 1 or 2 Boys. I thought, oh, this is. I don't know. Like,
It's a hard read.
That's
It's a
why I
hard
love
read.
that
The
they took it
comics are hard read.
seriously and sort of just took in like a real direction with the show because
Right.
no one had like nostalgia for the comics.
No.
Yeah.
Comics are hard read.
Yeah, that's true.
RR has an interesting one here, kind of like how Heroes ripped off Rising Stars, sorta. And Rising Stars is an old Image book.
It's
No,
an
I
old
never
top
read
cow
that.
book. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
It was J.M. Straczynski, right?
Straczynski.
Rising Stars.
Yeah, and it was actually the studio that I was a part of way back in the before times. One of the artists was drawing that book, so we were doing that book. Christian Zanier was doing the pencils for that. I think Ken Lashley might have worked on
Ken worked on a little bit, yeah.
a little
He
bit.
did some fill-ins.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He comes for a signing. What are you going to bring? Every comic? Here, sign every comic that happened. Just sign everything. You could probably just go like this in the shop, because he comes to our shop all the time. You could probably just go like this in the shop and spin around and be like, "Here, sign that." Oh yeah, I worked on that one.
Yeah, for sure. And RR also says that, to be honest,
That was Al who said that.
Yeah,
The other thing.
need a Rushmore each for sure.
Mhm.
And it
Yeah,
kind
that's
of goes
good.
by era too, because we're covering on J-Man's channel the old FF books,
Mhm.
and it's amazing how popular the Thing was back in
Oh,
the
he's
day.
awesome.
No,
He's
the
definitely
Fantastic
one of
Four are the best Marvel anything.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, if you ask me my favorite Marvel character any given day, it's all Fantastic Four tied for first.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
They're all
argument
good.
there.
And then Speedball.
And then-
no, you gotta stop it. It's over, Sebastian. It's over. Accept your loss.
It-
No.
I accept all the rest of your loss. That's
And then
what I
Hank
said.
from the Arrow.
Okay, that's it. Speedball's awesome. You convinced me. That's it. I'm just switching sides. Put me next to him.
And speaking of comics and the ones that you guys are working on, we're going to start with Nate's. We're going to go cosmic and then come down to street level. Tell us about Wayfair.
Well, it's a sci-fi epic that takes you all across the Summit universe. It is about a alien father who gets abducted and taken across galaxies and has to fight his way home. It's very much echoing the Odyssey in that way, as Sebastian mentioned earlier, but that's really just to open up possibilities and allow us to just throw whatever we can come up with at this guy and sort of just see how he overcomes it and this epic quest. And it's all just a love letter to the sci-fi genre in all its forms. So the first issue is an alien abduction, so it's more sci-fi horror, and we use the structure of that with a lot of flashback storytelling and things like that. Second issue is full-on space western, where he's fighting twin Lobos essentially in like an outlaw sector, which is really fun. Issue 3 is full-on like Silver Age cosmic adventure, hailing back to the old anthology sci-fi comics. And fourth issue is full-on multiversal chaos. So it really runs the gamut, because we want to show like what's out there in the Summit universe, and that we really do have like this really expansive cosmos. And as you can see, it's just beautifully drawn by Staniak and colored by Diego Souza.
Yeah,
I
these
love that
interior
he's an
pages-
alien already.
Yeah,
Like I think what the brilliant idea here was that he's already an alien, so there's already something cool just inherent in that, and then he's taken away. So now there's even more potential for even more crazy, like whatever crazy alien stuff is already there. There's more potential because now you're further out, and now it's the unknown for him too, right? And so it's like it's like he's already alien to, it's not like a human, right? So he's already alien, and now you got the extra stuff on. So it's like
I was thinking about that earlier for a Wayfarer thing, because we're starting at like what normal sci-fi is, and we have to crank it up to 11 from there.
Right.
And I was thinking, like, because of a storyline that we're doing for a Wayfarer novella, which is going to co-release with 3 that I'm writing currently, I was thinking, what is an intergalactic conspiracy theorist like in a world where there are aliens and there are like everything's possible and there is this vast universe? What would like your crackpot, like tinfoil hat person be? And that stuff like that's really fun to think about, where it's like, it's not everything's alien to you. So what is alien?
right.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, no, and these pages look great.
Yeah, Stan just blows it out of the
Shit.
water. I mean, just, and this is nothing. You should just wait to see the stuff later in the book and what we got coming up. I mean, I am just so lucky that I get to put my words over this and ruin it a little bit with my text. I'm just hoping not to mess it up too much, but I think that ultimately the thing with this story was just to let Stan's art shine and to take you to other worlds, and he does that better than I do. So I'm just laying it back, and it's very cinematic storytelling. There's no narration, there's no caption boxes except for issue 3, where we sort of have a reason for it. But that's just because to give it a more sort of cinematic vibe, while also very much leaning into the comic genre. I mean, comic medium at the same time.
I was gonna say, it reminds me like Heavy Metal Magazine. I used to have
Yeah.
a subscription to Heavy Metal Magazine, and it's just like a lot of the times you'd look at the art first. You might go through the whole story just looking at the art before you even get into, okay, let me dive in and start reading the the text now, and I find that that's a very cool experience. It's a bit unique because I think nowadays you kind of open up, you just start reading, because if there's so much text, you feel that, oh, I better read this first before I even do anything else, versus sometimes just enjoying just the art in the world that you're creating in your mind, and then you can see, okay, this is what this guy wants me to feel, and then go back and be like, okay, let me dive in, and it's a different experience. So I think that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
I also love
Yeah.
the palette. Like, is the
Yeah.
artist the colorist as well too?
No, we have a separate colorist, Diego Souza, who is actually the winner of our Summit Comics Talent Search this past year. And
Wow.
I was just blown away by his submission. Stan was actually also submitted, which is how I stumbled upon his portfolio, in addition to like his just incredible work and other things. But I just knew the second I saw these first pages that we had something really special. And every script I was writing, I was just really, I knew this was a story that I was really passionate about, and I wanted to find people who would bring it to life in a way that would make it better than I ever could.
No, for sure. And I think one of the liberating things as a writer is when you run into a visual team that can bring what you're writing to life. It then allows you to kind of like take the reins off of what you want to put on the page.
Yes, my favorite thing in the world is when I can cover up less art because one expression says a line of dialogue, or I don't need to say what a character's thinking with a caption because you can see what he's thinking very clearly with the way he moves or the way he's positioned. And I really just love artists who are able to capture that, like Stan, or like the backup artist of our series who also is doing Trenchers, is out now, Nicolo. It just blows my mind that I get to work with such incredible people. And then on top of that, I get to go back with a second eye and go through and do my lettering pass and just see what can I add to this on top of it and play off of them and let them take the reins for the final pass.
Right. And so these are the covers that you have.
Yes.
It's cover B for issue 1.
Mm-hmm.
And this is by Nicolo Arcuti. Did I get that right?
Oh no. B is by Z, and then also colored by Diego Souza. The first one was our main cover by the same art team as the interiors,
Right.
Stan and Diego.
And so that would have been C that I was reading.
Yes, this one is actually a Jack Kirby homage variant.
Yeah.
It's New Gods number 10.
Yeah, we read all of Fourth World in reading order on my stream as well. Did the whole thing in reading order.
Oh, yeah.
Covered it all over. I don't know how many streams, but hours. We read the whole comic on the screen. I bought the omnibus and I bought the digital version. We just read the whole damn thing.
That's amazing.
Pretty awesome.
It's just Jack Kirby did something more. He told a mythology. He created an entirely new mythology in
Yes.
a way that no one else has ever done.
Yeah. And
This
he
is
made
sort of
a villain for DC. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just train Darkseid alone. Yeah.
like Darkseid alone,
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can retire.
And Don
off that,
Rickles.
but- yeah, and this is his sort of final look. This is sort of final look that he'll get starting in issue
Ooh.
3. I didn't want to make it a Surf Dracula situation, so I made sure it's initially a 4-issue series. I'm like, page 1 of 3, he has to get it, so it's at least half.
Right.
Right.
But this is his more superhero look that he'll have eventually. But we wanted to tease it because Stan just had a great design that Marcus pulled off amazingly in this cover.
Sweet.
And then this is a black and white version that's limited, but we also have a director's cut that we're doing. So if you want to see every single page of Stan's art in black and white right next to my script pages, you can do that and sort of see every step of the process, which is really cool.
That's amazing. And you are already funded, but you've got
Yes.
still some time to go. So we'll scroll back up there, and I'm going to drop the links in the. Actually, I'm going to do that right now for this one.
And then I've got the links as well, so I'll put them on my. Let me go to my stream and put some of the links up as well. So
yeah, I'm gonna put them in the chat.
If you put them in your chat, okay. If you put them in the StreamYard chat, that won't go to my. Will that go to my? No, it won't. I don't think it will. I'll do it. I'll do it. Hold on, I'll do it on mine.
It's okay.
Yeah, I got both. I've got both here.
There we go. Good.
So
Yeah, this is
one.
great. This is great stuff.
And I'll put the Summit comic thing on there too.
That's just talking about the director's cut more.
And then here's the digital
Here's
preview.
Pinnacle, yes.
Right.
That's what started all. That's the birthplace of the Summit universe right there. If you want to get caught up, you can get it digitally there. If you want a physical copy, though, the best way to get that right now wouldn't be a late pledge. It would be through the Summit website if you want to sort of jump on the Summit universe as a whole.
Right.
I'm taking money out of my own pocket by saying don't get it from me. But if you want a physical copy, we have a Phil Hester variant and everything.
Which is pretty cool that you scored Phil Hester.
Oh, I still can't believe it.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm going to put that in there as well too. Sweet. So let's take a look at the campaign. What kind of cool things? So I'm just going to scroll up. To
Actually, can you just scroll down to one last thing in the stretch goals?
Sure.
I just wanted to show you that. This is now that both are funded. If you back both Wayfair and Cobalt Cricket, you get for free one of these bookmarks, which is drawn by Ignazio de Meglio, which has like a little mini comic on each side, one written by Sebastian, one written by me, and it's
Nice.
a little crossover for all ages.
So there's your alien, which you like. No one can hear you chirp.
Yeah, we had fun with those.
We
then
both
we also
abused my boy.
We also unlocked at our stretch goal an entirely free book, my short story collection with our backup artist. That's a page from the backup down there, the Wayfair backup. He and I have been frequent collaborators for years, and we're putting out everything we've ever done together in a short story collection. And the first people who are going to see it are the backers of Wayfair for free. If you back Wayfair physically, you get a free copy physically. If you back it digitally, you get a free copy digitally. It's just great art and hopefully decent storytelling. If you like my writing, that's just more of my writing. If you like good art, it's more good art. Niccolo is one of the best artists in comics, indie comics right now. He's currently doing Trench with Summit, which launched yesterday, and he is killing it on that. I just love his work. Working with people like him and Stan are just incredible.
No, that's great. Let me go back to the top just to let everyone know. So you've got 12 days to go on this. Out of a $2,500 USD pledge goal, you're at 38.63 already. You got 122 backers. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and it's my first ever campaign I'm fully doing. And we only had 40 pre-launch people going in, so I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I really believed in the story, and I could stand by the art. I knew that just from the first 5-page preview alone, that could sell the book, and that could sell, in the first issue could sell the series. So I just need people to read the first 5 pages. So I was just like, get the first 5 pages everywhere, get the art everywhere. I don't care if people see my writing. They can see my writing when they buy it. Just get Stan's art everywhere. And I just really stood by that. And I think that that's been really the selling power, is just showing the quality of the book, because I really think it is something that could stand alongside like something that one of the big people are publishing in terms of like visual quality.
No, definitely. And an intriguing story. And so that's a great mix. And with the promise of being part of a larger universe where you'll be able to see.
Yes. Right after issue 4, he's going to be part of the main Summit universe. These 4 issues are basically his origin story, and then he'll be basically our Adam Strange from there. So it's going to be really fun. He's actually going to be, no, I'm not going to say that, but he's going to be very intermixed with other Summit heroes, and he's going to be on Earth a lot. He's going to be very part of the Summit universe after issue 4, but the first 4 issues were all about telling his story and then also just showing as wide array of weird shit in space as I could.
Awesome. And so, Sebastian, tell us about.
Sorry, before Sebastian goes, I just want to say thanks, guys, for having me. I got to run, but good luck with everything.
All right, Vaughn. Thank you, man. We'll catch up with you.
We'll talk, guys. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
Bye.
I'll do a quick thing too, really quick, is that I know I get super chats, and if you guys, because like I'm just looking right now, the digital copies are they're not that expensive. It's like $5 or $6. So people give me super chats for that all the time. So instead of giving me a super chat, which
Yeah.
really does nothing. Like it's not gonna, I'd rather it go to
To a
these
creator.
guys, and you guys got a digital. I mean, literally, like I'll get $5, $10, $20 super chats. Like, may as well, you can get something for your money instead of me talking. May as well.
And I'm not trying to mark you up, but if you did get just the base physical copy of me and Sebastian's book, both of ours, you get so much additional free stuff for what
So
is it probably, Sebastian, like $24 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if you guys want to do that, like if you're going to give give memberships, like people do membership giveaways, and the memberships cost, like my memberships cost, you may as well get for that. You can at least get a couple of comics, and you get a bunch of extra stuff, as Nate is saying as well. So just as a tip, like I don't need the super chat for today, right? Like
Yeah, that's a great idea. And Sebastian, what about the Cobalt Cricket?
What about him, indeed? It's whereas Nate has done a love letter, an homage, if you will, to sci-fi in both traditional and comic book genre. Mine is a love letter to 60s, 70s, and 80s superhero comics. It's the bright colors, it's the alliteration, it's the pseudoscience. Oh, I love pseudoscience. I also love saying
Me too.
pseudoscience.
I love that. It's the best.
And when we went through my Rushmore, I like all the C lists, I like all the whatever. But what I like about them, other than like for comic book superheroes, I am the equivalent of that friend you have who only listens to like indie music. So when you're like, what are you listening to? And he's like, you've probably never heard of them. Those are the superheroes. Like, oh, who are you reading? You've never, who's the greatest Canadian superhero? Obviously, The Pitiful Human Lizard by Jason Liu.
who lives like 10 minutes from me.
I'm so jealous of you. Some of the best compliments I've gotten, and I've gotten them from 4 separate people, where they looked at the 5 pages that we had put out as our preview, and they looked at the way that Elias Gambit Melendez, my artist and co-creator, and they were like, it has kind of a Pitiful Human Lizard vibe. Have you ever read The Pitiful Human Lizard? And I'm like, I love that. I loved that book. I have both versions of the trade from when they updated it. The first time somebody told me that, I shared it and tagged Jason Liu, and I got a heart emoji, and that was enough. I didn't even need to do the comic after that. That met my criteria. But I like those kind of everyman underdog heroes. I like the characters who, like, if you read a Hulk, nothing against the Hulk or Wolverine or even Superman, but it's not hard to imagine they're going to win. My guy dresses like a blue cricket. He's not the hero who shows up at your, while aliens are fighting in the street. This is not the guy that makes you think, oh, good, I'm saved. This is the guy that you think, well, maybe I can run away while they're killing him. This ought to buy me a few minutes to find a better hiding spot. And I love those guys who are out there doing what they can, and even if what they can isn't as much, he's not that overpowered character. When people would ask me what I liked about the Ted Kord Blue Beetle, I used to describe him, and I still do, as I'm like, he's like Batman without the emotional baggage. He's rich.
Who's your
he's
favorite
self-taught.
superhero's favorite superhero?
He has his gear, but he's not, And I made Cobalt Cricket along that same line. Like, Spider-Man is great, but everything Spider-Man does comes from that guilt that I can only relate to because I was raised Roman Catholic Italian, so guilt is part of the package. But Cobalt Cricket doesn't have guilt. He gets these powers, and they're not overwhelming powers by any stretch of the imagination. But he still decides, well, I'm going to help in whatever way I can. The most powerful thing he has out of being a cricket is his chirp. and that's just from vibrating his wings. And even that, if you look at the way his costume is set up, he has speakers on his gloves. He and a friend of his who is good with technology and a musician, they designed a microphone amplifier that goes underneath his little bug cape, and that records, the chirp when he does it, and then amplifies it so that when it plays through the speakers in his gloves, like you see happening right there, it's like a sonic blast. But his regular chirp is just a louder cricket chirp. It's not, I have heat vision. I have an unbreakable claws. My wings shake. So he's not. He's not the biggest and the strongest, but it's his heart. Whenever I'm on one of these shows, I talk. As a kid in the '80s. Two of my favorite issues of Amazing Spider-Man were the ones where Firelord came to Manhattan, this Silver Surfer level power cosmic herald of Galactus came to Manhattan and started, wrecking stuff while Peter Parker was already having, his usual horrible time. So even though Spider-Man has no right taking on a Silver Surfer level character, Spidey beats the crap out of Firelord. Just out of the sheer frustration and that obliviousness that he shouldn't be winning this, to the point where the Avengers have to kind of pull him off. And I like that aspect. I like the guy who, even though he has superpowers, his most impressive feats are still going to come from like that, the superhero equivalent of when a mom gets enough adrenaline to lift a car off her kid kind of deal.
Yeah.
But too bad power scalers just hate that.
Right. But the hell with their scale.
Exactly.
I was never a math guy, but I wanted to do something fun, but serious. Like somebody reviewed Pinnacle #1, and they didn't really review it. They just kind of summed up what happened and then said a sentence about everybody. And one of the things they said when they read the Cobalt Cricket was, he seems to enjoy fighting crime, and it's pretty funny, but I think it should decide whether it wants to be funny or serious. And I was like, nobody says that to Spider-Man, to the people writing a Spider-Man comic. Spider-Man is a very serious book, and a lot of serious, you get your girlfriend thrown off a bridge and possibly you're saving her is what killed her. That's some serious shit. But Spidey still makes his jokes and still quips and still has, weird, strange things happen to him, and has to accept that some of his rogues are not exactly, the most impressive. And that's what I was going for. I'm trying to dance. Like, I loved the 80s Justice League International, but even I know that past a certain point, it got lost in its own, in the weeds of its own humor. And it stopped, if you read like the first 10, 20 issues, it's funny and stuff happens. And then beyond that, it starts being just kind of funny and nothing happens. And I still enjoyed that, don't get me wrong, but I like the that line between you're doing serious stuff and you're out of your league. So you kind of, pun intended, I guess. So you make your jokes, you make your side comments. And the Cobalt Cricket, just the fact, I ran through in my head about insect superheroes, and a lot of them, there's a whole universe of just spiders. Spiders aren't insects, they're arachnids. You know what I mean. So you got spiders and beetles and scorpions. Oh my. So I went with the Cobalt Cricket because there wasn't a lot of crickets. Couple indie characters that I know. Tom Hutchison's Cricket, Agent of Unicorn over at Big Dog Inc. But there weren't a lot of crickets, and the cricket didn't a beetle can be, like a big rhinoceros beetle or a stag beetle, but a cricket, mostly you think of, those summer nights when they're, one gets in your house and you can't sleep. It's not this big, scary, a cricket, it's just a cricket, unless it's a mole cricket. Those things are creepy. So I wanted something that gave that kind of, it's a cricket. It's kind of ubiquitous. You know, they're everywhere, and you hear them, but you don't always see them, and you don't really think. You know, when you go out in your yard with your, you know, for a barbecue, you know, you're thinking about mosquitoes, you're thinking about bees. You're not really thinking about, oh no, are there any crickets out there? So I wanted something that had that kind of safe and, you know, just kind of, you know, safe and just kind of common feel. And then I wanted to make him, you know, go up against just like, you know, right there, he's fighting to use that Marvel level hyperbole from the Bronze Age. That villain is who I refer to as Sandtrap, the golf course that walked like a man.
The golf ball in the, you can see the golf ball in the guy.
My favorite, and again, Gambit was supposed to be work for hire, and then he drew the first sketch based on my preliminary sketch, which was very rough. And somehow he drew the same exact thing that I drew, but so much better. And I said, well, you're not work for hire anymore. You're a co-creator. And I referred to him as that ever since. And it's little things like, you know, everybody loves the golf balls in there. But if you look, there is a bent putter because he is literally a sand trap.
Yeah.
And there's a bent putter in there because somebody got stuck in the sand trap, bent their putter over their knee, and then just threw it into the sand. And it's still, and these are details like, that's not in my script. I didn't think of that. I wrote that before he became this, he was a kind of rich white douchebag golf player. So make him look kind of, you know, like that arrogant asshole. And if you look at the face and the outlines of what should be his hair, you can see that guy. But more importantly, I said, put him in a golf shirt. And Gambit decided, you know, well, I'll put him in the hot pink because that seems like, you know, and again, I'm old. In the 80s.
Yeah, that's the color of the.
In the 80s, the bully bad guy was always some kind of yuppie in a bright pink collared shirt. And that's
light
just,
blue,
you know,
light blue or like a yellow and
right.
It's
You know,
always
that,
gonna be
those kind of
pastel.
pastels and
Yeah.
yeah.
You know who that
And-
is? That's James Spader, man. James.
That's what I said in the last show I did. I said if this was an 80s movie, he would be played by either a young James Spader or a young Weird Science era Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And
Oh God.
and yeah, so that, you know, I've got him going against, you know, things like that. And then I somehow ended up with a lot of weird scientists and like a lot of like there's a lot of mad scientists in Carl's Bay, which wasn't my intent, but it gives me a lot of leeway for like anything, like, you know, he's not in space like Wayfarer, so I can't just decide, well, these aliens live on this planet or this creature lives in space. But I've got weird science, you know, mad scientists all over the place. So anything I can think of, there's some scientist and, you know, who's going, I wonder if I could make this. And, you know, they do. The worst aren't even the evil ones. I have two scientists, Dr. Lilith Harrow and Dr. Walter Smith. They're not in there to be evil scientists. They're not in there to be good scientists. They're literally just in there for the, you know, they're sciencing for the sake of science. They are the scientists that Ian Malcolm warns us about in Jurassic Park. They are literally the ones who are not worried about whether or not they should do something. They're just trying to see if they could do it. And sometimes that can make a good thing. A lot of times it makes a less than good thing, but they don't care. They're just like, oh, okay, we can check off this did work. We did this. And that's pretty much what I'm working with. And I'm just having I'm having a blast with it. And interestingly enough, Gambit, he's a tattoo artist. He usually draws a lot of darker and creepier things because that's his bent. But he wanted to do this because he said, you know, I want to draw something fun, and he has such a good time doing this. Even our letterer, a guy you may have heard of by the name of Jerome Gagnon, he's just as guilty as the rest of us for the nonsense in this book, because he doesn't just do the letters and the designs for like the logos and stuff. He pitches things, he suggests things, he makes tweaks. Some of the craziest crap that has come out for this book has come because I went radio silent. I went to, you know, my wife likes to buy tickets for lots of concerts. We travel to see lots of bands. I'm gone for 2-3 days. I come home and find that in the group chat, the team cricket group chat, which is just me, Gambit, and Jerome, the two of them left unattended are like preteens who suddenly go to all the stuff. Mom and dad never let us touch this. And they come up with like, oh, we made a meme to do for, an ad, or we made a logo for this company that you mentioned as being one of the businesses. And they just get together and do some really cool shit without me. And then it's my job to kind of work backwards like Stan Lee and be like, oh, Kirby and Lee got together and came up with this. All right, let me work this into Jerome likes to pitch villains. He's a very big fan of trying to out ridiculous anything I come up with. And sometimes he does. He's got some great concepts that I want to get to down the line.
Yeah, no, this is great. And let's take a look at the campaign, because you said that you set the summit record for, I guess, quickest to be funded.
Yep.
4 hours.
4 hours. And you've got 6 days to go on this. A goal of 2,000. You're already at 5,081, which is amazing. And you had 168 backers. So I think between the two campaigns, you've got well over north of 300 backers combined. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, all I really want in those last few days is I want to hit the 5.5 mark, because that's the next stretch goal, which is one of the other artists in Summit, one of the hardest working men in Summit, Brian Wolf, and I, if we hit the 5.5, we are adding an extra page, and it is a full page fake ad in the vein of those old superhero Hostess fruit pie.
I love those.
No, I love it.
So we have
Both the ad and the treat.
we have the instead of Hostess fruit pies, we have Good Wife's fruit tarts.
Oh,
And we've got an ad coming up for that. And then, as you can see with those 4 covers, one of the Gambit's cover is just amazing. That was literally done as a placeholder because we wanted stuff to advertise with, and it came out so good, everybody just decided that's our first cover. So that one with him jumping against the Florida sunset. But also, I'm very proud that that Spider-Man #1 homage, Derek Donovan, who's done everything from Green Arrow to various X books. He did the only version of Youngblood I ever read. And Laura Martin, who came into comics before she was married as Laura Dupuis, and she's colored everything from the Morrison and Quitely JLA Earth 2 graphic novel, and she's done the Astonishing X-Men, and she's done actual JLA comics. And
Planetary.
I first was introduced to her when she did the original couple runs of The Authority and Planetary. And they are both friends of mine. They were friends of Carl's, and we became friends along the lines. So Derek drew that cover for me, and Laura colored it. And there were a million iconic Spider-Man covers in my head that I wanted to do. There were like 5 iconic Blue Beetle covers that I had to accept were only iconic to me, and that nobody would get what I was doing. But I went with this cover specifically because I really wanted Derek to draw all of those damn crickets instead of spiders. And Derek swears that it is a technical term. He assures me he looked it up, and a group of crickets that large is called a fuck ton of crickets. And that is what he wrote when he emailed me the finished art, the finished art page. He's selling that page, the actual pencil and paper page that he drew, and I guess ink too. So he's selling that on his Whatnot, which I think is really cool. So, but I'm so proud of all of those covers. It was Jerome's idea to make the blank cover blue. So
those are so popular now. I see lots of guys, especially other artists, they'll pick up a bunch and then do, commissions or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was smart to do the Spider-Man one because that's sort of a good demographic to hit, because like obviously I got that off the shelf. I still have my Spider-Man #1, and because I like these kind of old school, like I love Silver Age stuff. I actually like Golden Age and Bronze. Obviously, Bronze Age is the best, and because I'm of that age where I know this cover and I got it, I'm also more likely than not going to like the Bronze Age stuff the best, and you're sort of toying in that, silver to bronze-ish kind of area. So like soon as I saw this, I thought, oh, I understand this comic, not the cover, but even just I'm like, I understand what's happening. I get it. I know what I'm in store for. It's a comic. It's unapologetically a comic book. Sometimes I think people, they think that they're writing some big novel, and it's like, no, you're not writing a novel. It's a comic book.
This isn't Shakespeare. This is a superhero comic book.
Right. So Nate's with less dialogue, more
or at least
immersion.
right to the medium.
Yes.
Yeah, I think people are using it now, and I think you could spot phonies. I'm not going to mention anybody, but I can definitely mention them if you want me to, but I'm not going to. I can spot the phonies who are no. I've already gotten in. I get into
you won't.
Not on Steve's channel. On my channel, I don't give a shit.
Get in trouble across the entire internet.
Yeah, across the whole internet.
Let's name our negative Mount Rushmore.
Oh my goodness!
What's your Mount Rushmore?
Oh my god! I can't. No, I did a Mount Rushmore of the Punisher actors, and I got 350 comments, and they're not happy with me. But anyways, but. No. I like, yeah, you could tell different kinds of stories with comics, but I think if you're diving in and saying, I actually want to do a comic and I want to do more than one issue, and I don't want this to be a springboard for me to have an Amazon or Netflix deal and then leave the medium. And when you do that, it almost writes itself, because you're a fan of comics, and obviously I could tell that Sebastian loves this era. So you're already in your head, oh, I've got like 25 villains already in my head. And then here's the other thing, like you're saying, guys coming out of nowhere. Oh shit, what about this guy? Because it starts to write itself in the sense that if you're a nerd for this time period, you start to think, oh, I like this. And then someone's going to be like, what about a villain that's like, this animal or this bug or whatever? It's like, and then, and even with Nate, because I can tell you're saying Doctor Who, you're liking all these kind of sci-fi things. When you're a fan of that, an actual fan of it, there's so many ideas that you want to do that one comic is not enough for you. That's where the actual creators come in, and the tourists are not. The tourists are like, yeah, I've got this idea. They do their little idea, and they're like, yeah, I did it. Is this an IP? No one cares. No one cares about your dumb comic. It's like, you need to put the time in. You people can spot a phony. 100, especially me and Steve, us old folks. I can tell you in 2 seconds. Look at, this is fake. It's like, this guy wants a Netflix deal. He's got his little story. That's it. But when you do something like this and you're starting in this way, where you're telling people, look, there's going to be more to this story. It's not just going to be one, because I've already got a lot of stuff planned out and I want to stick with it. And I think people enjoy that. And I think when they saw this, it got back quickly, because you see this and you're like, it's for me. You're going to know right away. Like I'm a horror movie guy. I don't know if you know there's a movie called Night of the Demons where Angela's, it's like this demon woman. You see the poster, like, that's either hell yeah, I can't wait for this, or Hellraiser. Let's say Hellraiser. You saw the Hellraiser poster, you're either like hell yeah, or you're like, no. That's I can't wait. Well, I can't watch that movie. And if you love Hellraiser, the poster, you're gonna love the movie. So I think when they saw this, they're like, I understand this guy. I know what this guy is all about. I'm gonna enjoy this. What the heck, right? So I think that's, you got an edge there on that. Oh, hey Dan, how's it going, dude?
What's up, Dan?
No, these are all brand new, Dan. You're in the front row seats here.
Yeah, they're on Kickstarter, and they have a campaign. Both Nate and Sebastian have their books up, and so
links are in the chat, buddy. I'll put more links up.
If you want some more cosmic stuff at Beyond Wayfarer, there's also Trench, which is a alien who's on Earth.
We're gonna get to that too. We already have the links for that as well too. But there's 6 days left for this one, Dan. So if you want to back it, you still have some time. And the question: are there late pledges on either of your campaigns?
Yes.
Not for mine, but there are going to be plenty of opportunities to get a Wayfarer #1. It'll be available in other Summit campaigns. You'll be able to get it with Wayfarer #2 and so on. You'll be able to get it wherever we're going to make sure our #1s are very readily available. We're going to make sure our first arcs are very readily available. We want Summit to have a very easy access point and we want to just have a book for everyone, a wide range of superhero books, because we're just a bunch of comic book fans making a bunch of different comics, and one of them is going to appeal to somebody. At least
I have late pledges because everybody in the group told me to. It'd been a long time. This is only my second Kickstarter. I did one for a book called Allied Forces from my own Sunday Night Comics group. And I did that forever ago. And they changed so much of Kickstarter that I had no idea what the hell I was looking at. And Travis and Devin, so our publisher and our editor-in-chief, both said, yes, enable those. And I said, okay. I didn't know exactly. I mean, the name made it sound pretty obvious as to what they were. I didn't know and still don't fully understand exactly how that works and what I have to do with those. But they told me to, and I said, okay, I'll click that button. So yeah, after this ends, people still have a chance to bid on it, should they so desire. Should they feel left out?
But if they want to give you a birthday gift, they need to do it before.
Yes, you could do it for the birthday.
And,
there's no negative to backing this, because think about it in this way.
Yes.
You're going to go the next time you go to the comic shop, you're going to buy a couple of comics, and the people producing those comics are only producing them to keep an IP alive so that they could farm it for bullshit movies that are going to suck ass and you know it.
They're only going to be episodes a season. If they're a TV show, it's going to be terrible.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's all they care about. Versus you're getting comics of people that actually care about comics and like the same ones that you do, except for Speedball or whatever. But other than that, they like the same thing you'd like. It's like actual nerds making comics that like comics. It's not a bunch of people that are literally just producing whatever slop they got to produce to get their page count up. There, we got our IP. Here's the 47th Batman comic. If you didn't get the first 40, it's like there's how many Batmans. Drop one Batman one time. You don't need to buy all 7 Batman issues. Surely, if you're buying those, you can surely grab something from here and at least get it. At least support people who like you. They like you. They think like you. They act like you, and they want to make comics. They don't just want to exploit you.
You can even still buy your Batman. Just don't buy all 6 variants.
You don't need to
get one. Don't buy a 101
and then buy one of these
absolute variants. Just buy one of these.
Yeah, Absolute Batman. Listen, Absolute Batman printing.
I think 17? We are in one of the best times to be a comic fan right now. We have this amazing landscape of a medium right now, and everyone's firing on cylinders except for a couple of notable exceptions, but mostly everyone's doing incredible, and there's some amazing stuff happening, and there's no better time to be a comic fan, and it's just infectious down to indie creators like us.
And Nate's also, Nate's young. Like, you can add 3 Nates up to get to my age. So, I remember when when going to school with my mother going, I know you like Spider-Man, but are you sure you want to wear that shirt? Last time they made fun of you. And now it's like, everyone in the world is wearing like a Marvel or DC shirt that they got at
I was
Walmart
in high school
for $8.
during like Infinity War Endgame. So
right.
I was worried about
that's amazing.
Okay, so we all hate you, Nate. Sorry, just to let you know. Listen, Sebastian, look. We were nerds, okay? You think I had these tattoos when I was younger? Yeah, right. It's like you're walking around, you're like, this kid's an idiot. Are you still reading Batman comics? Go away. And now people, I feel there needs to be a little bit of pushback.
Right.
It's like, no, listen, you need to
get. I need to be a little bit underground.
I got bullied so that Nate could soar. I walked so Nate. No, I ran because I had to, because they were going to kill me if they caught me. Yeah. I ran so that Nate could walk.
Yeah.
Confidently into the store and say, I have read the
Comic Comics T-shirt available at readcomics.it.
Look, this is how things have changed. I was in Montreal for their comic book festival. And so it's a 3-day fest, a fantastic outdoor festival. Tons of indie books, as well as published graphic novels from Europe. And I went to the Montreal Canadiens game the Saturday night. After the game,
that's sports.
I know, but listen. Walking out of the arena,
nerds are nerds.
There's sports nerds, there's financial nerds. Everybody's a
no. I'm anti-sport nerd. Okay, I'm just.
But check this out. I'm with Vaughn, and we're walking up the street, and I go, "Is that Spider-Man?" There's a grown-ass man in full Spider-Man cosplay walking the streets of Montreal. You would never have gotten that in 1985. Impossible.
Hell no.
In the 90s, I went to, my family used to have season tickets to Mets games at Shea Stadium before they got it moved into whatever stadium they're in now. So in the 90s, I went to the one where they had someone dressed as Spider-Man and someone dressed as Mary Jane and someone dressed
Right, for
as
the marriage.
Iceman and Firestar and the Green Goblin. And Stan Lee was there, and he presided over their wedding. And the giveaway for that giveaway day was Amazing Spider-Man annual number 20 or 21, whichever one had the wedding.
Yes.
And it was like a month before the issue actually came out. And most of the sports people did not care. And when it was over, I sat there like almost vibrating. And my father's like, wait till it clears out. Wait till it clears out. Okay, go. And I just ran up and down the bleachers getting every copy that the real sports fans just left behind. Some of them I had to discard. I'm like, nope, that one they got it covered in mustard or beer. But I must have left with like 20 something copies of this book that wasn't even out yet. And for the little nerds in my school, I was like a god for that, for that month. After that, I went back to being nobody special. But how I shone.
That's a pretty good story.
That is pretty good. Yeah.
I still have that came in a bag, and it had a poster that had a couple, some of the major Mets players along with the people in the different costumes, and so I have the whole little giveaway thing they gave you.
That's cool, and it's interesting because Spidey is a Mets fan. He likes the Mets and the Jets.
He does.
Yeah. So we've got one more from Summit that's on Kickstarter. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and it's called Trench.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Hold on a second.
So I'm going to share the screen for Trench. Hollywood Monsters #1. So either Sebastian or Nate, you can speak to this one. I really like this. It's got a little bit of a monster.
Yeah, it's basically the elevator pitch would be Martian Manhunter meets Hellboy. It is about this ultra terrestrial alien who has been on Earth for hundreds of years, who awakens and finds himself in Hollywood and sort of all the weirdness that comes of that, and investigating an alien worshipping cult there. And it's Summit editor-in-chief Devin R. Scott, and the artist on it is Niccolo Arcuti, who is a frequent collaborator of mine, who's doing that short story collection I mentioned earlier with me and Wayfarer's Backup and that Kirby variant. And he's just incredible. He's doing some next level work inside those pages, but it is fleshing out the cosmic Summit stuff, but Earthside. When we realized Trench was our only Summit cosmic series, but it was Earth-based, so that's where the original idea for Wayfair actually came from. Was, oh crap, we do need stuff out there. We need one series that can just hit a bunch of planets real fast. And I'm like, oh, a bunch of weird cosmic stuff, me.
It's such a great book to follow up both of our campaigns, because it's obviously cosmic because he's an alien, but at the same time he's kind of street level.
That's good.
And it's an alien who it's an alien doing like a mystery, but he's following a cult. So there's it's got that. It's kind of got a little bit of everything. So it's got like the occult, it's got aliens, it's got detectives, it's got, superpowers of an extent. It's, so it's really one a lot of people, including Nate and I, have been looking forward to, because it's just so, it fits perfectly well into the Summit universe, but it's so different at the same time.
And not
plus
for the
Trench
squeamish.
just looks really freaking cool.
Not for the squeamish either. Look at that.
And you got to wonder, maybe the first piece of clothing he found when he woke up was a trench coat. Think of how embarrassing his name could have been if he'd found other things. It's like
the diaper or something.
Yeah, who are you? I am Garter Belt. It just. I am Onesie.
No, but his name actually happens to be very close to Trench, his alien name, so it's very convenient.
Right, because that's right. That's a
That's
because the
comic
guy
book
understands
thing.
comics. It's like that's a
smart.
comic thing.
Exactly.
How can a guy named
I
Otto
mean,
Octavius
yeah.
get the art? Because
And-
well, let me
What
explain
else
that
would
to
it
you.
have
It's comics.
That's the stuff I love in Cobalt Cricket. His name is Glenn Fielding because a Glen and a field are both places you can find crickets.
Oh, beautiful!
There
That's
you
a
go.
genius.
That's amazing. That's how it should be. And
We have a villain in the first issue called the Lionfish. His actual name is his first name is Leon. His last name is Pesci. So he is his name was Lionfish, and now he is the Lionfish.
The most fun I've
Literally.
had with coming up with characters in the Summit universe. I've got something coming up with a team of super monkeys that all have pun names. That was the most fun I've ever come up with anything.
that's very DC. I like it.
Nate could
Yeah,
light me on
someone's-
fire, and I will still love him because of those damn monkeys.
Yeah, I'm still proud of Narangutang, but somebody. Yeah, that somebody's about to really epically fail to try to Elmer Fudd them some super apes, and that's going to be a really fun story in the Summit universe coming up.
Yeah, I love this
That
cover
looks
here.
cool. Yeah, that
a
looks
great
cool.
cover. Marcus Jimenez.
Yeah, Marcus is just our MVP. He's our Dan Mora because we just make him do everything, despite the fact that he just had a kid. We'd make him. We'd force him to use his paternity leave to just spend more time on Summit.
I think the thing is, this is something that writers, you guys seem to have nailed this as well. I think sometimes there's a disconnect between the writer and the artist because the writer is writing it for the writing, and the writer needs to write it for the artist. If when the artist gets the thing, he's like, okay, what do I got to draw? And it's like, okay, this guy sits at a table talking to this guy, and then that's the whole. You're like, oh, then that's just a job. But if it's more like, oh, there's a spaceship, or there's this guy who's going to be this, looks like a demon guy blowing the crap out of people. Oh shit, yeah, like you're writing it for the artist to enjoy the work, so that it.
You're
Yes.
100% right. You got to
Listen,
make
I've
it
never
fun.
been wrong, but
And
I'll take that compliment.
even when you
Right.
write something that's like very detailed and like has a lot of stuff, I always make it clear like this is just so you know narrative intent.
Yes.
You just know where my brain is at. At the end of the day, if you scrapped every word of this and just did what you thought was best from this point, it would probably be better than what I
Right.
came up with.
Like
Right.
I've known Gambit for 10, 12 years now, and we haven't really worked on anything together before this, but he knows me well enough that when I write I don't have huge panel descriptions because I don't have to say a lot for him to already. He's like, okay, so when you say this, you want it to look like, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. And he knows the characters I like. He knows my sense of humor. He knows, my emotionality. So I don't need to tell him much, and he can, I keep saying, no matter how ridiculous the thing I come up with, Gambit makes it look amazing. And I do have, maybe it's an advantage, maybe it's not. I have a degree in fine art. Originally, I thought I was going to draw comics. Then I went to art school and found out I was not going to draw comics and started writing. And then one of the things that Gambit does, like when I send Gambit my crude, here's what I want him to look like. Gambit can draw, like I said before, exactly that, but a million times better. And he if you look at our art, you would think it was backwards. Like if you looked at my original concept and his, turnaround of the character, you would think that Gambit's was the original and mine was, oh, that's so sweet. Your 8-year-old nephew tried to draw it too. And it's like, no, that's what I looked at to make this. That's what my writer drew. But so I don't have to work as hard for am I writing something that he'll understand or what am I doing? He just like, I can never do one of those. Well, here's the sketchbook as an add-on that has all the different versions of the character before we settled on what we were doing. Because Gambit has never drawn a design so far that I didn't use his first version. And not because, oh, you drew it exactly. He makes his he makes his decisions. He makes his tweaks. He decides that well, you told me you wanted this guy in like a beat up, you know, like a suit that he got at a Goodwill and some scuffed shoes. But I decided I'm going to give him the full pinstripe gangster suit, and instead of the scuffed shoes, I'm giving him old style saddle shoes. And once Gambit drew that, I understood my character that in theory I had created better now that Gambit made some changes and made some specific choices. And I keep telling him that I'm never going to Stan Lee him. I keep telling people, no, Gambit, this is as much, if not more Gambit than it is me now. I'm not going to be sitting there later telling everybody how, so back when I created the Cobalt Cricket, I got Gambit to draw that for me.
Yeah, but Stan Lee
it's always
created
gonna
Jack
be
Kirby, so then
Gambit and I created these.
No,
Well-
but Stan Lee created Jack Kirby, so then therefore he created all of the other stuff too.
But I think
He created Darkseid, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember when I created Dark. Look, I love Stan Lee, but come on.
Yeah. but also like the amount of work that goes into writing a page versus drawing a page is fractional.
Oh my god, they spend so much
Right.
more time with it than you do.
It's like
Yeah.
exactly. So if you want your artist to be invested, you got to make it fun. Let them kind of go nuts. And this is advice. I think I've said it before, even with J-Man and Sean on their streams. Eric Larson was just giving advice to writers, and it was basically he give the artist a script, and he says it's easier to change the dialogue
Right.
than it is to go back and say, can you redraw that? Or you didn't get it. If it
Mhm.
works, just go with it. Especially if it's banging, just go with it. Cause you can change a sentence here or a word here. And even Gambit kind of had me chuckling. We said that you gave one word page descriptions or something, or one sentence page descriptions, and let them just kind of go nuts with whatever they were doing.
But if he's a fan of this kind of like obviously Sebastian and him kind of like this thing, so
Yes.
it's easy. There's shorthand. There's a little bit of
There's
a
a
shorthand
shorthand,
to it, right?
exactly.
Because Gambit already can say like I know what you
Yeah.
need. I got it.
When
It's
I
like, you know,
when I
on the
first
other hand,
wrote
I
the
wrote
scripts for my
two
first
issues of
3
Wayfair.
issues,
Yeah.
I wrote my first 3 scripts as like outlines before I did the scripts. And I was like, all right, I got to make sure I convert these before we, get started on the book. And Gambit was like, you can convert the parts that are really important to you, but I could draw the whole book just from, your outlines. I already know what you want. I could draw the whole book from this and just, I'll make up, panel counts. So that's going to be our time saver if we end up with any crunches, especially for like fight scenes. If I'm writing like, here's the part where we're kind of building the lore or doing whatever, and I need some specifics, but then I can just write. And then for the next 4 pages, Cobalt Cricket and Red Tape fight, and he can do that, and I'll throw words, on it later as needed. But yeah, he already said, he's like, you don't need to finish the script. I can do it from what you wrote, because he goes, you gave a page count of what each scene should be, and you said what you want happening. He goes, and I know you, so I can just do that.
Yeah, it's good. And Nate, you were saying something.
Yeah, I wrote the first 2 scripts of Wayfair before I even knew if Stan would do it. So I was in a very different position where I didn't know what my artist would want or anything like that. I made sure, like I wrote the second script. I wrote the first script first, then reached out to Stan. Then I wrote the second one because I was too excited waiting for Stan to get back to me. But So I really had to keep in mind that like anyone could be drawing this, it could be in any style. So I really had to keep it more objective and more just, here's the story reasons, here's the things that I can definitively say I have the better handle on in terms of storytelling for this, and you have a better sense of this type of the visual sense of it. You're the artist, you're great for this. If you have an idea that's better than mine, I'm going to go with it 100% of the time. I've got no ego about it, especially about coloring, because like Sebastian, I'm partly colorblind, so I just can never trust mine.
I think it's tough
But,
for Nate. It's tough for you too, because you're dealing with like outside factors. Like if you say they're fighting on a golf course, that's not to pit the 2 comics against each other. I'm just saying, like, I get it. Yeah, Bronze Age battle. It's a Bronze Age battle book, and they're going to kick the crap out of each other. I got it. versus yours, like you're doing a little bit different. So like yours has to have
Yeah.
a different mood,
Right.
completely different mood to it. So I think that's
my
tougher, a
thing
little
was-
bit tougher for the artists.
Yeah,
Yes,
Nate's
if Stan
inventing
didn't
everything from
draw it, I
scratch.
don't know what I would have done. Because there were some things that I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do? Because there was like, I'm really like, for this page, I'm going to go like full on Grant Morrison with it. For this thing, I'm
Mhm.
going to just come up with like the weirdest thing I'm ever going to do. There's like a psychotropic nebula scene. There's a fifth dimensional maze. There's stuff like that. And that's just like one stop on his journey. So I really needed an artist that I knew could just run with anything I gave them. And I knew that Stan could do that in spades. And just he adds panels. I gave him a splash page and he turned into a 12-panel grid. Somehow, but like he just makes everything perfect and just elevates it into a way that just brings the storytelling to a whole other level and just lets me focus on what I can do best while he focuses on what he can do best. And you sort of just compartmentalize in that way. It's a comic book creator.
I think you both got paired with sort of the perfect person to do
Yeah.
your thing, and
Yeah.
it makes them look cool on their own,
And
but also distinct from each other. So you've got two unique looking comics, but also they fit with your own thing. They like it looks like a good sci-fi thing. It looks like a cool superhero thing, and it's interesting that to have them to get like, what about down the line? Like if it down the line somehow and they meet up, like I'm always thinking like, how would that, like, how would that actually work? It's just, what if they met each other? Which artist would, how would you do that?
I think the simplest
I
way would be
would love to
whose
get-
book they met in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, right.
That's how it would
okay.
work.
Or
That's
if
how
we
it
did like 2 issues of,
Yeah.
they meet in, it starts in Wayfarer number, 8 and then crosses over to Cobalt Cricket number 6, maybe
Right.
they could each get a turn at, drawing each other's just because I think, Nate, well, I'm not going to speak for him, but I think we could probably agree that we both would think it's really cool to see as many different people draw
Yeah,
our boys as we can get,
Yeah,
You got
And
the
then,
blue boy.
as
You
you
called the
saw-
blue
I don't know if
boys.
you saw his comment pop up,
absolutely.
but I need an artist like Gambit who can be understanding to the fact that when I quote him directly, my autistic ass imitates his accent without realizing it. And I saw him commenting in there about me doing that. And I need to work with an artist who's not going to just punch me in the teeth for being like, I don't sound like that,
Oh my god! I do the worst accents, and then it's like, and sometimes it's like, oh, you shouldn't do that accent. It's like, oh well.
I can't do them on purpose, but
Yeah, it's
when
like-
when the tism kicks in and I'm quoting, I
Yeah.
do them pretty good. But if I try them on purpose, it's not as good.
Your Stan Lee was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. Honestly,
Oh, that's
You
I,
want
really
mine?
easy.
Oh god, no, not mine.
Sebastian, I think you got some voice acting in your future. If you ever do audio versions of the Summit universe,
Oh,
there you go. I think we
Yeah.
can lean on you.
I can't
you guys
say
ever
yeah.
thought about
Can
doing
be
a
bought.
manga version? Have you thought about doing a manga
no.
version?
I've got a separate manga thing that I'm working on, but
Oh, cool.
and I have been very unsuccessfully self-teaching. I've been self-learning Japanese, so who knows?
What?
Maybe one day I'll do the Cobalt Cricket manga, and if it gets turned, if we turn it into an OVA, I'll do his voice in both English and Japanese.
Well, that's crazy.
G.I. Joe
Did you-
Dallas has drawn Ninja Turtle stuff when he was a kid. Well done. Hope you didn't stop.
I
You're still doing it.
I never was able to get into manga because for me it was like I learned to read from comics. So for me it's like flip prose right to left. And like
Right.
I can't get past that.
You-
And, like,
you-
at the same time, like, I
it'll-
like some anime stuff.
Right. It only take you like
I
one
like some anime
second.
stuff like yeah, and at the same time there's just so much stuff to read and like when I'm not reading a novel, I'm reading comics. I'm not reading comics, I'm watching a movie. When I'm like
Mhm.
if I open myself up to another obsession, I'm going to just drown. It's why
I
don't
was
play
out
video
for
games,
20
because
years.
I
Then
know there's, like,
COVID hit, and my
10,000.
youngest daughter pulled me back in. She's like, "Dad, I've been watching manga while we're trapped, watching anime while we're trapped at home. You should watch with me." And I was like, "Don't." It was like The Godfather Part 3. It's like just when I thought I was out, and now I've got manga and anime stuff all over the house.
All the
and
young people like it.
it's her
man.
fault.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they like it. But I was there for. I mean, I saw Akira. Like after I watched, I saw Akira when it came out, right? So
Yep.
after I watched that, and I'm reading Lone Wolf and Fist of the North Star and all this kick-ass shit, and then it's like, oh look, Lion King came out. I was like, I have like
Yeah.
zero interest in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like I saw Princess Mononoke in the theater, like Ghost in the Shell. It's like I'm like, I'm not watching it. Like I just like I'm done. And once you read Lone Wolf and Cub or Fist of the North Star, any of these like super epic ones, you're like,
Right.
yeah, I can't watch. I can't. I know there's some of the new ones that are okay, but I just can't get into the new cute ones or whatever. Where there's just
you know
the shonen stuff. I'm not as.
But also, like
you would-
nothing
you
in
would like-
animation can hold a candle to what you can do in comics or manga.
100%.
Like even anime. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think it's just the perfect medium for every time. Like
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
better thing to work with.
Amen.
Anime can't replicate the art of Fist of the North Star, which is like some of the best art ever. Sorry,
No,
Steve.
but
what were you
you
gonna say?
would enjoy Chainsaw Man. I think Chainsaw Man would be up your alley.
Oh, Chainsaw. Yeah, my wife's read it all. My wife,
Yeah,
she started
read
with,
a lot of
with
it.
manga.
I've
Yeah.
recently discovered my inner 13-year-old girl, and I watch a lot of Slice of Life and cry like a baby.
Right.
Adam, grab my digital copy backing. Stoked to dig into Gambit's action.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. Some real comic fans. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's only a couple of days left in Sebastian's. I think there's 6 days. Nate, you've got like 20 something days
12,
left.
I think.
12 days.
12.
And then
yeah.
And so let's get these campaigns as high as we can. I'm going to start to just
Because
share
Travis
them.
didn't tell me I don't have late pledgers on. I didn't click that button. So yeah, only 12 days.
Yeah, no worries. So once again, we've got Cobalt, and then I'm going to link Wayfarer as well too.
Mhm. And you can link. I've linked Trench as well.
Yeah, and
One
I'm going
as
to put
well.
Trench in as well too.
That looks cool. That's like a good hybrid between the two. You got like that.
Yeah.
But with those three, you've got everything. You've got everything covered or whatever. And I've been putting them in my. You guys won't see, or will you see my? I don't know if you see. Yeah, you see my chat too, right? Yeah, because anything with the. Yeah, so some of these guys are my guys. So you do
Mhm.
see that. You see the two chats, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
chats will all show up here. It's just on the individual.
Yeah. I've got both streams open. You guys aren't streaming this, are you? You don't have it. Nate and Sebastian don't. Yeah.
No,
okay.
they're not streaming it. It's just
They're not
us.
streaming. It's just us two. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so one last time before we go, we're going to hit all three, and then we're going to let everyone go for the evening. So I'm going to go back to, where is it? Wayfair. So you can see here, we've got 12 days to go, 122 backers at 3,800, approaching 3,900 USD. So already it's guaranteed that you're going to get the product because they've met their funding goal. Now it's about stretch goals, and let's see how much we can go. And Nate, one last thing. You said that if you can get to a certain number, you can unlock something else, or was that Sebastian?
You've already gotten a completely free book. You've already gotten a bookmark if you back Cobalt Cricket. And now if you get 4,500, you get a free mini print that people can vote on in our pinned update. You can vote on which of our main 4 covers you want made into a mini print that will be sent out to our physical backers for free as well if we reach 4,500.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So let me bring up Sebastian's. Cobalt Cricket. 169 backers. You've cleared 5 USD. Almost tripling what you're asking for. You've got 6 days left. And what stretch goals are available with remaining time?
With the remaining time, we met the first 2 stretch goals, so everybody's getting a sticker by Ignacio D'Amelio, the guy who did the bookmark that you get if you back both of us. We did a set of postcards by Gambit that are like those old vintage, like, visit Miami, visit Orlando, those old vintage Florida postcards. But this one, of course, is for visit Carl's Bay, and one that just says Moline County. And our current stretch goal is that we're going to add a page, and that was going to be the full page, kind of satire. I don't know if it's more of a satire or a love letter, but it is based on those old Hostess fruit pie ads that they used to put in the comics with Cobalt Cricket versus a villain called the Red Tape. and a battle that could only be ended by sugary processed American snacks.
It's so good.
Oh yeah. And if you back us both to get the bookmark, you'll most definitely get two. We are not checking to see if one of us.
Yeah, I don't see us being organized enough to go. Did you put it in? you will get two.
Yeah, you'll definitely get two of the crossover bookmarks.
That's a Kickstarter loophole or whatever.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we've got Trench Hollywood Monsters #1, also from Summit. So this one just launched. You got 26 days to go. They're about a third of the way there with 1,200 USD, a little over 1,200 USD, and 55 backers. So a great amount of backers. But let's see if we can get them to their goal. So all three of these books can be in the marketplace and help to build the Summit universe.
Yeah, and there's plenty more Summit books to come, and we're really excited about everything coming down the pipeline. You'll be hearing a lot more about some upcoming launches soon.
Awesome. Jerome, your esteemed letter has jumped in. So anyone who's interested, you can also join Summit on Discord, and there's the link. So there we go. So Sebastian, Nate, I want to thank you for joining us. This was awesome. Again, got to support indie. You guys are doing amazing work over at Summit. Any last little comments before we head out?
Go back and buy those Speedball back issues. They're worth it.
I'm starting a Speedball stream. Like,
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Hey man, we might have to do New Warriors on when we're done FF.
yeah.
You just got to make Summit's equivalent. It's
Yeah.
all just it's just that's the easy part about stuff like this. You just send the artist like, we're doing this but with this. That's the great thing. You're always starting from this very similar reference point and then just going in a crazy direction from there.
Phil says, thanks everyone for a great show. Take care. Everyone,
Thank you,
see you
Phil.
soon. And then Phil says, Stan Lee Speedball?
Stan Lee Speedball. Stan Lee Speedball is the one that Ditko created. Stan Lee just says he made it.
And for J-Man, thanks everyone. Go Habs, go. Castle Grayskull, absolutely. Go Habs, go. I'm going to go and
Sure.
watch the game on
No,
delay.
go away. How about go away? No, I don't care about it. Montreal has won the most Stanley Cups, so I'll just say I've said that, I'm in Toronto, and I said that, and I got in massive trouble.
J-Man, how you hate sports and you know that?
No, you know how I know that? Because I troll people. Everyone, it's Canada, so it's hockey.
Yeah.
Like everyone talks about Canadian. My mom put me in hockey for about 3 minutes. Like, this is terrible. I suck at this. So like everybody at my office would talk, and I was like, oh yeah, Montreal's the best that they won. They're like, they get so mad, and I'm like, literally, I don't care. Yeah, but hold on, let me explain this to you. I was like, I don't care. And I was like, Montreal has won the most, right?
Mhm.
Is that a
It's
true
true.
fact?
So
Then they
imagine
start
me.
saying, but there's only 2 teams at the time, and then there's only 3. I don't care. I said they've won them as many times as most times.
Imagine me growing up in the 80s. The Habs are winning cups, and I'm a comic book fan. You're a double nerd.
Wow, yeah, I'm surprised you made it out of there.
Yeah, right?
I was a fat kid with glasses in grade 2. I've been wearing glasses since grade 2.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what life is like without glasses. I can't put contacts in. Contacts are fake. Who's putting shit in their eye? I don't understand why.
It's
Hey,
not
I
easy.
just went the traditional route and became funny so that they wouldn't kill me for being such a weird nerd.
I was into horror movies, and like really, like my locker was broken into. All of our lockers were broken into in high school. Nothing was stolen from mine because the inside was all like Hellraiser, like whatever Terrifier is now, the equivalent of back then is all this weird stuff. And they're like, I think we're gonna just leave this guy alone.
Yeah, this is the guy who gets his revenge later. We'll just back off.
yeah.
Always taking chances. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you. J-Man, I want to thank you for helping us co-host. Vaughn as well, too. Massive shout out to everyone who was in the chat. Thanks for everything and your amazing support for Nate and Sebastian and Summit Comics. Looking forward to when we're going to be seeing each other next. J-Man, I think you and I are together tomorrow night for FF, correct?
Yeah, Fantastic Four on Friday. We're on issues 200 something. He-Man is Saturday. Monday's Avengers. Tuesday is we're doing Doll Man versus Demonic Toys. What's Wednesday? What's Wednesday? Oh, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe comics on Wednesday. We're into the 20. We're into almost issue 30 now.
Almost at 30 right now.
So we're past 200 on Avengers, past 200 Fantastic Four. We do every comic in order. So and then whatever. What's Thursday is Thursday He-Man? I don't know. Whenever He-Man's coming out, I'll see that.
Maybe Thursday might be He-Man. We're going to be speaking with Jeff Monk next Thursday, and he does covers for Spawn. So we're going to
Spawn. Never heard of it.
Yeah, really. So this little comic, I think it's a little small indie movie from way back when, last century.
I like that. I like that movie. Melinda Clark's in it, and she's attractive. So let's just leave it at that.
That's all good. All right, everyone. Good night. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you, I guess, for J-Man and I tomorrow night. All right, take care, everybody.